Well, this is what went down earlier tonight in the European monthly finals here on the Open Series. It went down to the wire into a penalty shootout where we saw Stingray become the European November monthly finals champion in an end-to-end game that went 3-3 all the way down to the wire. What a match it was. Our first grand finals on FIFA 21. And guess what? We get to do it all over again here in North America. Good evening, everybody. And welcome to the North American Monthly Finals brought to you by PlayStation. My name is Brandon Smith. Of course, next to me, as always, is Richard Buckley. And Rich, we averaged 5 goals a game over in Europe. North America, please deliver the same.
Delivered. Usually, it's the other way around. Usually, it's North America, the sort of region that is giving us the drama and the tension and a little bit of nibble as well in the games. But that was all in Europe. We had back and forth, not only in the games, but in the chats as well. I'm looking forward to seeing how North America answers. It's, you would say, a pretty new field of players from what we've seen. There is sort of the old guard there from the FIFA 20 Open Series, but very similar to Europe, a lot of new faces for people to get familiar with in FIFA 21.
And you're probably thinking, what is the PlayStation Open Series? If you have just arrived on Twitch or YouTube on the PlayStation channels, strap yourselves in because tonight is going to be a good one. If you aren't aware of the Open Series, you guys can get involved in weekly tournaments over on compete.playstation.com where you guys can play for avatars, in-game themes, money, FIFA points. There is so much on the line every single week. We have 4 weekly qualifiers that build into a monthly final, hence why we are here today to bring you the action. And of course, this monthly final will be from the final 8 competitors. So 8 players will be involved, and you can just see the prize pot scrolling along the bottom of the screen there, Richard, because it's a $1,000 prize pot. There is some serious money up for grabs tonight.
There is indeed. First place will be taking home $400. Second, $300 for the bronze place. Third match, you're getting $200. And then if you finish fourth, if you make it through to the semi-finals, you've guaranteed yourself $100. All 4 semi-finalists will also be receiving 12,000 FIFA points to spend on FIFA 21. We've seen what the players are playing for. We know all about the Open Series and how you can compete at home. But Brandon, I'm getting a little bit of bracket talk. I feel as though we need to see who is going to be competing from top to bottom. Run it down for me, Brandon Smith. Tell me who is going to be competing tonight.
Yeah, well, I'll be completely honest to you, Richard. Just looking at the bracket when we get to it in a second, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's FIFA 21 that's just bringing out these new names, or where people have been involved in the bounty squad as well last month, where basically people could play against famous content creators in North America or Europe. There has been so many more players could get involved in the Open Series. As you'll see from this bracket right now, where's Bosniano? Where's C. Lopez? Where are all the big names that we saw on FIFA 20? I'll tell you where they are. Unfortunately, they got knocked out in the round of 16 and the round of 32. So they were so close to making it back into the bracket tonight. Here we go then. Quavy Pro 7 up against Ethan Taguchi. Strayho up against Arturo. We've got Kevin AC07 against David. Ronin Adrian TTV. And there's one name, I'll give him credit, X-Blue, an experienced player in this North American region that we've seen over the last couple of years, not just in the PlayStation Open Series, but in a handful of FIFA esports events, Richard. But what do you make of that? It's an 8-man bracket, very much heavy with Mexican players. I'm sure Bosniano's inspired a few over the last couple of months. But where are the regular names, Richard? Is it FIFA 21 just bringing up new names and different players?
Could be a couple of things. I mean, we saw in Europe as well, there wasn't the sort of names that were there qualifying again. It could be personal reasons, it could be players playing different game modes, or it could be that they're simply not good enough. And that we've got this new blood coming in to the Open Series in North America and in Europe in FIFA 21. Players starting the year with a flourish. We're going to see who is going to be joining Stingray as November's champion. FIFA 21, the first FIFA 21 champion of North America, will be crowned in around, you would say, 2.5 hours' time.
Yeah, most definitely indeed. Of course, that's nothing against those regular names. It's just a bit of a shock to the system not to see a couple more of those names that we've seen. I can see XD Adders in the chat saying we all lost early. Well, you're still tuning in tonight, so we appreciate that. Fingers crossed, you of course will be back in December when this competition will continue to go on through. Again, looking forward to seeing how tonight will go. We've got so many games coming up for you. We will broadcast you every single matchup, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the grand final coming up tonight. All best of one matches, so if the game is drawing after 19 game minutes, of course we will be going into extra time and penalties like we did in the grand finals. However, we've got action coming up very, very soon. If you are new to FIFA 21 and you're thinking, what's the best formation to play this year? Check this out, because me and Richard put our heads together and we came up with some of the best formations to use this year.
Hello everybody, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley here with a look at the strongest formations in FIFA 21. This is somewhat of a polarising topic because every single formation has its pros and its cons. It always comes down to personal preference at the end of the day. With that being said, what's our first formation, Richard?
It's the tried and trusted 4-2-3-1 formation, Brandon. This is what you tend to see a lot of FIFA pros use at the very high level. Mainly because of the two CDMs, they're like anchors in front of your back four. They patrol left to right, breaking up play, and they are the catalyst to this formation's success. Another big important thing in the 4-2-3-1 is your central attacking midfielder. Having 5-star skills or 5-star weak foot is imperative to the 4-2-3-1 success. If you're a new FIFA player, trying competitive tournaments, play the 4-2-3-1, get your foot in the door. This will help you improve.
Next up, the 4-3-2-1 is once again one of the favourite formations in the FIFA community this year. Why is that, Richard?
The 4-3-2-1 allows you to counter-attack at breakneck pace so quickly. Your right and left forwards cause a lot of danger, running in behind, forcing players to always be looking over the shoulder, defenders running back to their own goals. It's not what they want to do. That can also cut inside, offer great shots into the opposite corner, and the back post cross is arguably one of the most OP things in FIFA 21.
Another popular formation this year is the 4-2-2-2. Care to explain why, Rich?
It speaks for itself. You literally have 4 attackers going forward. You have your 2 strikers and then your 2 central attacking midfielders. You have so much goal potential in this formation. The main real key in this formation is your CDMs have to be elite tier. We're talking Kante, Pogba, Goretzka. These sort of players have to be used in this formation. But if you want goals and you want quick attacks, the 4-2-2 is where you should be looking.
Lastly, Richard, let's look at the second variation of the 4-1-2-1-2.
This is what people like to call the diamond, and it's a diamond in the rough in FIFA 21. If you're a fan of tiki-taka, this is the formation for you. It allows quick and easy passing from your centre midfielders to your CDM to your central attacking midfielder. We're always working in triangles in the 4-1-2-1-2. You have 2 strikers, they're never isolated. They've always got one of them to bounce off of in the 4-1-2-1-2. Again, attacking FIFA will be coming your way in the diamond.
These 4 formations are very strong in FIFA 21, but that's not to say that another one won't suit your own play style better. Don't be afraid to try a few of our own suggestions until you find the one that you personally enjoy.
PlayStation. PlayStation.
Hello everybody, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley here with a look at the best squads in FIFA 21. We'll tell you which teams you should be looking at to challenge your friends in head-to-head matches or when you're competing in the PS4 Open Series. Let's kick this off with the reigning world champions, France.
By far the best team to use in FIFA 21. It can be broken down into three key areas: attack, midfield, defence. In the attacking third, Mbappe, Anthony Martial, Wissam Ben Yedder and Antoine Griezmann give you so much diversity in the final third. In CDM, Moussa Sissoko and N'Golo Kante dominate that area, and in the back four you have some incredible players. Raphael Varane alongside Clement Lenglet, and the addition of Ferland Mendy in the FIFA 21 France team simply make them the best.
Another squad to watch out for are the current English champions in Liverpool.
Pace is what they are built upon. You've got Mo Salah and Mane pressing from the front. In midfield, Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho and Jordan Henderson make up a real compact, steel-like midfield. And in the defence, what a player. Virgil van Dijk alongside fan favourite Joe Gomez. With Trent on the right and Andy Robertson on the left, Liverpool are an absolute unit in FIFA 21.
Another team that will give opponents nightmares are the German giants Bayern Munich. Right, Rich?
Yeah, they are outstanding. In the centre of the pitch is where they really flourish. Leon Goretzka alongside Joshua Kimmich in that central midfield role dictate the play. Robert Lewandowski up top is deadly. Inside the box, outside the box, on his head, on a volley, he can score anywhere at any time. In the defence, they are very, very potent. David Alaba, Jerome Boateng, Alphonso Davies give you lots and lots of different options. And who can forget about Manuel Neuer? He is the last line of defence. He wears the captain's armband for a reason, and Bayern Munich are certainly usable.
And finally, the last team that deserves an honourable mention are the Parisian side PSG, who are also a fantastic choice in head-to-head FIFA.
Absolutely. Neymar and Mbappe are a fantastic duo next to each other. They complement each other so well, and with these two on the pitch, anything is possible. Di Maria, coming in from the right-hand side, can whip shots into that top left corner with that wand of a left foot. At central midfield, you have Idrissa Gana Gueye and Marco Verratti, who keep it very basic and keep things ticking over. And in the defence, Marquinhos and Kimpembe keep it very, very solid. PSG are a very usable option in FIFA 21 and almost a little of an outside pick to surprise opponents in the Open Series.
These are just 4 of the many incredible options that you can use, but of course you want to choose the strongest possible squad that fits your playstyle on FIFA 21.
PlayStation.
Well, welcome back to the PlayStation Open Series, FIFA 21 North American Monthly Finals. We hope you've been enjoying a couple of those small sort of information videos regarding the best teams to use, the best ways to score, and the best formations on FIFA 21. I'm sure you'll be seeing a number of those pros using just a handful of those teams or formations or, of course, methods of scoring tonight. Let's have a look at the bracket, Richard, to refresh our minds of who is involved tonight, because this is our first ever North American FIFA 21 tournament. So there's so many new names in it. This is exactly what we love to see. As you said, we've got Quavy Pro 7 up against Ethan Taguchi. That will be our first game of the night. Stracho against Arturo Cantu. You've got Kevin AC 07 against David Macias. Ronin Adrian TTV up against X-Blue, a player that we have seen in the FIFA 20 Open Series previously, and quite a familiar name in North America. I mean, we've seen a little bit of their runs in the qualification. If you are wondering what the delay is today, there has been a little delay in the online qualification side of it. If you don't know really what goes into these tournaments, for us to get us to the final 8, there has to be at least 6 rounds of Swiss formats, plus a round of 64, a round of 32, and a round of 16 to get here, where, of course, there's going to be a couple of technical difficulties along the way. So we do apologise for the late kickoff. But, Richard, looking at that bracket, I mean, any new names you're looking forward to having a little look at tonight?
I mean, in all honesty, a majority of them are new names. I'm looking forward to seeing just who really makes an impact in the early stages, who comes out of the gates flying in that quarter-final. As you alluded to, the games will be getting underway very shortly indeed, with just a few back-end issues have been resolved, and we're going to be very, very shortly. I can feel the tension building in the air. The games from the quarterfinal stages will all be broadcast, and we will be seeing who will be victorious here on the North American Monthly Finals. But don't go anywhere. The games will be coming up very shortly indeed. 5 minutes and we'll be underway. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everybody, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley here with a look at some of the most effective ways to score in FIFA 21. High scoring matches are going to be common this year in FIFA 21, and it's important to understand you have loads of options in front of goal.
The first thing that we're going to look at is the finesse shot. Basically, the finesse shot is where you hit the ball with the instep of your player's shooting foot. You initiate the finesse shot by holding R1 and then powering up the shoot button. It's all about finding the angle and then curling the ball past the goalkeeper. Stats that you're looking for are finishing, curve stats, and also the finesse shot trait.
It must be said as well that heading has returned this year in a major way to FIFA 21, Richard.
Absolutely. Heading has been completely overhauled in FIFA 21. Manual heading, you have to aim the ball and also power up exactly where you want the ball to go. You've got to practice, because when you first start, you are going to miss. It is going to be hard. Practice, practice, practice your headers. Near post, far post, from corners. Whenever you can, try these headers, because if you get it right, you will score plenty of goals.
Chip shots are also viable and a clever way to score this year, aren't they, Richard?
Indeed, chip shots are back in FIFA 21. Even if the keeper stood on his line, you can delicately loft the ball over the goalkeeper's head into the far post. If the goalkeeper's rushing out at you, simply tap L1, hold it down, and then power up your shoot button. You will chip the ball over the goalkeeper's head and make him look silly.
Although normal power shots may not be fancy, they are still a very effective way of scoring in FIFA 21.
Absolutely, Brandon. It's pretty much the simplest way of scoring in FIFA 21. All you gotta do, power up the shoot button, get your laces over it. If you've got a player with high shot power, these shots will fly into the back of the net. You can go far post, you can go near post, anywhere you like. These shots will be flying in to the back of the net.
And I'm sure many people would agree with me, Richard. Volleys are back this year and they're OP in FIFA 21.
Knock it to the back post, knock it to the front post, edge of the box, anywhere, and these volleys will be flying into the back of the net. Trust me, guys, you have to try volleys in FIFA 21.
Lastly, one of the cheekiest ways to score this year in FIFA is by taking it around the goalkeeper. It sounds simple. Is it, Richard?
Yeah, it really is. All you need to do, simply use the right stick and just roll it to the right or to the left. This will initiate the ball roll animation. So simple, so effective. You will be scoring those one-on-one chances simply with the ball roll.
Scoring is always fun in any year of FIFA, but FIFA 21 promises lots of goals and loads of ways to score them.
PlayStation.
Some fantastic ways to score there in FIFA 21. I think the one where you dribble around the goalkeeper and your little ball roll, it looks very, very slick when you do score a goal like that. We are finalising the technical issues that the team behind the scenes are working tirelessly to help and try and get us underway here. What we're going to do, we're just going to restart the live stream. We'll be down for maybe 30 seconds. We'll be back up, and then fingers crossed, I've been hoping and I believe that we're going to be underway with our first game of the day. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very shortly indeed. You can see this beautiful face and that okay face. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Sit tight.
Well, here we go then. Welcome back to the PlayStation Open series. We apologise for the small technical difficulties there. The stream is back up now. If you haven't refreshed it yet, you probably wouldn't hear me anyway. Make sure you refresh the stream and ensure that you can stay tuned with the PlayStation Open series today. My name is Brandon Smith and joining me is Richard Buckley. Rich, I think we're about ready to get some games underway for today. Jumping straight into the quarterfinals. Of course, if you haven't looked at the bracket, you don't know who's involved tonight. It's a stacked bracket. 8 players involved. Our 8 grand finalists that have come this far from the round of 64, the round of 32, and of course, that really challenging round of 16. And now they're this far now. This is the bracket, Richard. And I believe we're kicking off from a certain game on the bracket, aren't we?
We are indeed. If you're just joining us right now, the bracket from top to bottom, I'll run through it very quickly indeed before the action does get underway. Quavery Pro 7 up against Ethan 2 Gucci. Strayho Postavanye against Arthur Cantu. We've got Kevin AC07 against David Macias. And the Ronin Adrian TTV against X Blue. Those are your final 8. You win one game, you're guaranteed a prize, money taken. So, lot to play for in this opening game here in the quarter-finals.
It's a $1,000 prize pool as well. Let's not forget that. Winner gets $400 tonight alongside becoming the first ever FIFA 21 North American monthly final. And as you said, I believe that first game we're going to be looking at is going to be Kevin AC at 07 up against David Macias. 2 Mexican players, again, 2 new names in the Open Series. But this David Macias, Richard, he's taken down 2 Hall of Famers in the Open Series. He beat C. Lopez, who has been a previous winner here in North America. Beat him 1-0 in the round of 32. And then beat E. Ramirez in the round of 16 to get here. So, I mean, those names that are sort of familiar and they're sort of established in the Open Series, they're looking over their shoulder now thinking, right, there's new talent coming through on FIFA 21. We've got to maybe up our game an extra 10-15%.
Absolutely, taking down 2 staples in North American Open Series history and move them to the sidelines. Is it time for a new name to be on the trophy? Guaranteed to be a new name, in all honesty. We had a new name in Europe and we're going to get a new name in North America. The game only mere seconds away from getting into it. I believe it's going to be France against France in our first match of the day. So, look, North America typically, we tend to see a wider range of teams. I say that quite positively, seeing as though we might get 2 or 3 teams instead of all France. In Europe, we saw 7 France, 1 Liverpool. In North America, we sometimes see a Barcelona creep in. We sometimes see a Liverpool creep in as well. But I think today is going to be very France heavy.
I mean, it depends what day of the week it is, Richard, as well, of North America. They give us a little bit of everything. Hopefully, we'll see a sprinkle of different teams in the tournament for today. As I said, it's head-to-head FIFA here, not FIFA Ultimate Team, so hence why you are seeing those meta teams in head-to-head FIFA as we jump into this one now. France against France, so it looks like. And here we go then. We are underway. It's going to be Kevin AC up against David Macias. Kevin in that traditional blue French strip from left to right in this one. David Macias from right to left in the white. And I mean, we'll talk about it again. We'll talk about how these teams are lining up. It's normally that staple 4-2-3-1. And it looks like Antoine Griezmann gets the nod and gets the start for Kevin AC07, Richard.
Just from what I'm seeing here, it looks like Griezmann's starting for both players. Let's see if the ball goes into him here from David. He plays it into Ben Yedder. It could... I'm not sure if it is Griezmann, but Pogba getting the first chance of the game, rifling the shot. And has he given a penalty?
He's given a penalty. I think he's given a penalty, Richard. We saw dodgy referee performances in Europe. We're seeing them again in North America in just 7 minutes into the tie. Speaking of Antoine Griezmann, not normally the player to have an impact on the game, will have an impact on the game for David Macias. And that's his first attack of the game. 7 minutes in, Antoine Griezmann has just got himself on the score sheet and is proving why he should be in this French team. But referee, I mean, there's lucky there's no VAR in FIFA right now, because I tell you what, some of these decisions are very, very questionable. I've no idea how that's just come into a penalty.
You can't press circle inside the box. It's as simple as that. Unless you are 1,000% sure that you're going to tackle the ball, you simply cannot press circle inside the box. The collision system, and also when after you've taken a shot, if you press circle and you follow through on a man, as he did there, even though he didn't go down, Pogba, the contact was made, so the penalty is awarded. I always tell people when I'm playing with them, when I'm playing against them, if you're pressing circle inside the box, it's a panic. it's basically a panic button because you're hoping that you can get some sort of Hail Mary tackle. Slide tackling is even worse. You just want to jockey, you want to mark space from left to right, and you want to play the sort of interceptions and blocks because they are what's most strong. They are what's overpowered inside the box. That's how you best defend, using blocks, interceptions, and sort of manually positioning yourself. You want to stay away from circle.
Well, I mean, let's talk about this French team as well, because as you said, it seems like Europe have their own way of playing with a lot of these teams, and North America also have their own way of playing. Antoine Griezmann, hello. Gets himself a brace, Richard Buckley. He scored an absolute thriller over the weekend for FC Barcelona. He's doing it for his national team. 2 goals in 17 minutes, I should say. It's a brace for Griezmann, but, I mean, looking at it on one side, Kevin AC, there's no Ben Yedder in the team for him. He's gone for Griezmann in that cam role with Mbappe as the out-and-out striker. And on the flip side of that, you've got Mbappe pushed out wide, so it seems, with Ben Yedder, I think, in the team. But it's an interesting one. I think Anthony Martial does not get the nod, or Kingsley Coman, one of the two there.
Yeah, it's Ben Yedder as the central striker. It looks like Martial wide left, Pogba DM with Mbappe wide right, and almost a 4-2-3-1 second variation, I want to say, with the right mid and left mid instead of the right cam and left cam. You see Martial just on the bottom of your screen here. He's a little more defensive. If he was playing as a left cam, it'd be a little bit more infield and probably further in the attack, but you see how deep he's dropping there to help defend.
We saw this earlier today. We actually saw a rage quit in Europe. It was a 5-0 victory before half-time. Chance to try and get a goal back. It's well defended by Rafael Varane. Oh, that could be very interesting. Lucky enough for Ferland Mendy. He's in a right back, but he's still happy to come across and cover in that centre-back area to ensure that David Macias is able to just about hold on to that 2-goal cushion. If you have just joined us, this is the North American FIFA 21 monthly finals in the PlayStation Open Series. The best of the best will be battling out tonight to find a place in that grand final. Here's Mbappe, who goes for the cutback. There's Griezmann, and it seems like it's all Griezmann at the moment. Does get a goal back for Kevin AC. Yeah, Griezmann putting on a bit of a show at the moment, Richard.
Yeah, really nice finish. It was all done through the actual assist and the build-up play from Kylian Mbappe in the final third. Just moving left to right on the ball when he got played in that inside channel. Little cut back to Antoine Griezmann. It was almost a simple finish because of the hard work that Mbappe had done in creating the chance. 2-1, 30 minutes gone. Very similar vibes to what we were getting from Europe right now.
Lots of goals. I mean, we averaged 5 goals a game in Europe. So, I mean, if you're a FIFA fan, it's exactly what you want to see. As commentators, that's exactly what we want to see as well. Goals going in. Pogba into Mbappe. It's funny that Mbappe's actually not scored yet. We've seen 3 goals today, and Ben Yedder or Mbappe haven't got them. It's all been Antoine Griezmann, 1 from the spot and 2 from open play. Will he be onside? Yes, he will there. Tries to link in with Ben Yedder. Goes back to Kante instead. This is David Macias. Just dancing on the ball of Anthony Martial, one of the new additions to this French squad this year. Mbappe, is he onside? Yes, he is. Just about pulled inside there. I was a little bit worried that could have been caught. Slightly hanging.
Great tackle, though, coming out of the back from Ferland Mendy. Stepping out of defence and getting a toe on the ball. You just saw a little bit of the manual movement there, activating both analog sticks, pushed in and making a run off of the ball with Anthony Martial.
Mbappe happy to interchange with Griezmann now. A couple of step overs. There's the cutback. Surely, if he can find a little elastico, a la croqueta, I should say. Mbappe there. There's bodies at the back, and there's some huge blocks from Rafael Varane just to keep him out. Seeing the creative runs being triggered. It's one of the new features for FIFA 21. You don't see everybody use them, but a couple of times we've seen that now from David. He's tried to just trigger one or two of those creative runs to push a player on past the final third. Try and open up that pocket of space or try and create that chance. Griezmann, great idea towards the back post. It was Anthony Martial that was trying to angle his run.
Something I was very
the angle on it.
Very impressed with on that attack from Kevin. When he got down the wing with the step overs in the Lacaqueta, he went for the finesse shot to open up his body, but as the ball bounced up to him, he had the wherewithal to try and head it back down into Mbappe's path. He didn't shoot. He wasn't trying to shoot from that angle. He was actually looking for a pass, a downwards header pass into Mbappe's feet. So even though David is leading, I would probably say Kevin, coming into this half-time, doesn't feel too bad, to be honest. David got 2 chances. It was a penalty. And then the second opportunity, he scored again with Griezmann. But apart from that, as you saw from the stats, more shots, more possession for Kevin at half-time.
Just saw there on the team selection as well. Both in a 4-2-3, when you could just see both players just quickly looking at their opponent's team. It looks like Lucas Digne is in at right back on the opposing side there for Kevin. But yeah, I completely agree with you, Richard. He had, more chances, more shots on goal, but of course the scoreline is the only thing that really does matter at the end of it all. But the counter-attack for the first goal was just 7 minutes in. It was a questionable penalty call there from the referee. Griezmann scored from the spot, then doubled that tally. Got himself a brace just after 17 minutes in the game. And there was a little hope for David, I should say Kevin, just towards the end of that first half. And now it's up to him to try and put away some of those chances. As I said, 6 shots, 5 on target. One of those has got to be finding the back of the net. Otherwise, unfortunately, it will be goodbye. And you will be falling out of the tournament in the quarter-final stages. Because there's no second chances. It's knockout football. It's straight knockout football. It can be harsh, but you've got to find a winner here.
Well, I've been surprised by Griezmann's introduction in this game. He started for both players, and he's been a real presence in the teams. Usually somewhat of a bystander, you would say, in this France team, with the names around him: Mbappe, Martial, Coleman, Pogba, Kante. Griezmann sometimes gets shoved to one side with Wissam Ben Yedder in the team, but he is making his mark on this game right now.
Mbappe, lovely drop of the shoulder into Griezmann, tries to play the one ball. It's not a great pass, back to Ben Yedder, and it's just over the bar. What a chance that was to make it 3-1. It would have been a 2-goal cushion there, but I mean, look at both teams there, Richard. Both players are taking some sort of sacrifice. You look on the one hand here, of course, for David, he's missing out on Kingsley Coman. Yes, he's on the bench as a viable option, which I do like, to be honest. At the end, sort of 60, 70-minute mark, when you want to make a change, Coman's full of pace. He's going to inject that into your sort of front three, probably in that Lamb area. I can imagine that's where he'll go, or if not in the cam. But Mbappe out wide, I mean, we spoke about this quite a lot in FIFA 20. Not really a fan of it. I mean, for me, he's got to be down the centre, isn't he? It's got to be him and Ben Yedder. That's why if you had 10 FIFA players in a room and they all played as France, at least you'd say 8 of them on a normal day would play that way. Chance for Griezmann to try and extend that lead back to a 2-goal cushion if he can try and do something with Mbappe. Lovely cut inside. Chance for Ben Yedder. It's off the post and it's for a goal kick in the end. What a chance that was. But, I mean, what's your thoughts on that? In terms of me, it has to be Ben Yedder in the 10 and obviously Mbappe out as the out-and-out striker.
Well, I mean, look, you saw why Mbappe is used as a wide player in that one example right there. He breezed past Phil and Mendy, what a lot of people regard as the best left-back on the game. Like, literally left him for dead. If it's a tough one, because you can play him at striker, and he is the best striker, I would say, arguably, on head-to-head, maybe even in the game itself. But also, if you come up against a Lucas Digne, you want your fastest player exposing your opponent's weakness. And if that is Lucas Digne, I'm putting Mbappe straight on him. The one thing that really I would disagree with is no Kingsley Coman in the starting 11. I think Coman, earlier in Europe and through his rating increase, has really proved himself to be a starter. So whether that's Kingsley Coman out wide and Griezmann at cam with Mbappe at striker, Martial is the other wide cam, that's probably how I'd go, with Ben Yedder coming off of the bench. Or you can go with Griezmann on the bench and Ben Yedder playing at cam. But I think Coleman, no matter what, has to be in the team.
Just offers you a lot of pace as well. And as I said, it is a real shame that Ousmane Dembele isn't in that squad at the moment for France on the latest update, or I should say the first update for FIFA 21 this year, because he is that sort of danger item where, depending on who you are and what pro you are, you can play him in a cam, you can play him obviously on the left or the right. because he's got a 5-star week for 5-star skill moves. Yes, weak for not the biggest of plays this year, but the skill moves that he offers. And, I mean, if you're a FIFA player, actually, who plays Ultimate Team, he's a cheap little pickup who is very deadly in front of goal.
Oh, Ousmane Dembele, alongside probably Rashford, and Player of the Month Ansu Fati. They're the 3 players that I do not like coming up against. Dembele, Ansu Fati's Player of the Month, and also Marcus Rashford. Those 3 players give me nightmares whenever I come up against them in Ultimate Team. Beautiful from Antoine Griezmann with the La Croqueta there inside the box.
Macias now. Griezmann down the ground. The goal is a tough one to take because Lloris went down to ground and he thought he was going to snatch the ball off the feet of Griezmann. And this will force Kevin into a pause now. Ben Yedder's on the pitch.
Having the wherewithal
once again,
just to knock that back when the ball gets played into you, to have not only the composure but also the quality just for a quick sideways pass to an empty striker. He's very, very good. I'm very impressed by that goal right there. It might not look visually impressive, but the actual mechanics of that, because if he takes an extra half a second, he's getting clattered by the goalkeeper and Lloris is taking the ball. You'll see it back on the replay at the end of the game. It was a real nice play. Just quick X-pass into the striker's feet and slotted past the goalkeeper.
20 minutes left to play. Is that going to be the end of the road for Kevin AC in this one? It's been the battle of the Mexicans. They've come out in full force in the Open Series this month, and especially in the monthly finals. Pogba. Back to Kingsley Coman. Lovely dink into the box. It's, again, not going to be troubling. David Macias seems to be in cruise control at the moment and very happy to defend and do so. Mbappe, he can drive forward now. Lots of space, lots of options. Is it going to be another goal towards the back post? The diving header. He was always going to be ambitious and it was always asking a lot of Anthony Martial.
Yeah, he was stretchy, wasn't he? Anthony Martial there at the back post. But with 3-1 the scoreline, with only 12 minutes left to play, you would probably, we've seen crazier comebacks, say that David is going to be taking his place in the semi-finals.
He's only 12 minutes away from concluding the tie.
He's offside.
Is he going to be onside? Sure, that's a very ambitious ball. The referee says that's fine because the lino didn't put up his flag. Mbappe went down to ground there. Clement Lenglet was strong with the tackle. Just 10 minutes left now. Chance to drive forward. Ben Yedder. Mbappe, he'll drop the shoulder. Lots of space. Oh, lovely cut inside. Mbappe off the woodwork. What a goal that would have been. It's still not. Dealt with. Yeah, it just about was in the end.
He deserved the goal. He really deserved the goal. Beautiful play inside the box there. The step overs, the intricate moves, and then that smashed finish past the goalkeeper. Maybe a finesse shot. 20/20 hindsight would have been the better play. But with only 5 minutes left to go, you've got to think that this game is all but over after the post was rattled.
I mean, you can make changes now with 6 minutes left. I don't think there really is enough time unless... I mean, David was just to fall apart in the nicest way. As we said, if you have just joined us today, this is the PlayStation Open Series North American Finals. We've got so much action coming your way into our final eight. Trying to find a winner of the grand final today. $400 on the line alongside calling yourself the first FIFA 21 champion. 4 minutes left plus additional time. Mbappe back to Ben Yedder. I mean, there will be added time. It'll probably only be a minute. That's why I'm saying there isn't really much of a chance. Ben Yedder, can he drop the shoulder? Yes, he can. Ben Yedder with a shot. And Lloris once again.
When it comes to it, Hugo Lloris always stands tall, doesn't he? He's been the goalkeeper for France for a number of years. And another fantastic save from the captain, Hugo Lloris. I think this year more than ever, I feel like Lloris is actually quite a viable goalkeeper, especially not only in head-to-head, but also in Ultimate Team as well. Lloris actually pulls out some fantastic saves, but that will do us for this opening matchup. It's going to be David taking a 3-1 victory against Kevin, and he will be moving in to the prize money. $100 guaranteed.
So yeah, huge congratulations to David as well for booking a place into the semi-finals, because you come this far now in the quarterfinals. All you need is one win, just literally one win, to guarantee yourself 12,000 FIFA points alongside some of the prize money. $100 minimum for making it into the top 4. And it's like building your way through the bracket to continue your run. As we said, there was plenty of goals and plenty of action in that one, and we'll take a look at the replays as soon as we do have them there. I mean, a couple of goals as well to talk about, Richard. You know, not just the 5 that we thought we were going to see on average, a little bit under that, however, and still plenty of goals to talk about, and certainly no 1-0 sort of stalemate really games in terms of where, you know, we end up just seeing defend.
Yeah, absolutely. Confirmation of the result there from David Macias, moving through to the semi-finals with a 3-1 scoreline. 3 more quarter-finals left to be played here in the NA November monthly finals, and then we'll get down to our final 4, a couple of semi-finals, and then the grand final to see who will be walking away with the lion's share of $1,000. Great first game though, Brandon.
Yeah, certainly indeed. I'm looking forward to seeing how all of the other matches do play out as well. And I mean, as we said, first game done of the day, 3-1. Congratulations to David on that result. New players coming into the Open Series, but we had a special guest in Europe. We have a special guest here in North America, one of the biggest names in this region in terms of content creation. It's no one else. He's involved in Team Complexity. He was involved in the PlayStation Open Series. It's AA9 Skills joining us live from America right now. How are you, my friend? Thank you very much for joining us.
What's going on? First of all, before we start this, you guys are incredible commentators. I watch all of y'all stuff, yo.
Thank you very much.
You guys are great, man. I appreciate that you like hyped me up in the beginning. I love it. How you guys doing?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good, dude. You know, 2020, as good as you can get.
First question for myself, Skills. Obviously, you're a very comfortable FIFA player yourself. You would say quite a competent FIFA player. You played much head-to-head. You've been involved in the Open Series. Who's your go-to team?
Interesting, right? Because when I was playing it, I was trying, obviously France is like, everyone takes France, but I tried stuff. I had success with Bayern. They were an interesting one. Yeah, Bayern, like Lewandowski finishes everything. They're good down the wing, solid defensively. But yeah, I found a lot of success with Bayern, but France is the go-to. But yeah, Bayern gives you good chance of competing.
Certainly do indeed. I mean, we spoke about a handful of teams. PSG also in amongst one of those teams you can definitely use. I mean, you were involved in the Bounty Squad, which, you know, to some of the viewers that don't understand, basically it was where people could play you and literally just earn money for beating you. How did that go? Did you defend every opportunity, or did you give out some money and some free wins?
No. So I lost a few, but I gotta say the ones I lost, I tried stuff. You know, I was looking for teams like if like who I can compete with, who can stop France. I think the big thing right now is stopping France. How do you do it? Like, who do you use? Is it Barca? So I tried a bunch of different teams. So I did give up a little bit of money, unfortunately, but the event itself is just I like the format. It's just dope. It's fun. It's just stopping France. How do you stop France? Who would you guys use to stop France?
It's a tough one.
I'm still working out.
I think for me, I'm probably going PSG just through the 3 5-star skillers up top. Di Maria, Neymar, and Mbappe. I've been trying to push PSG for about 7 months, Skills, and nobody seems to be catching on in the Open Series.
I used them. I won 3 games with them during the bounty stuff. But I will say I tried Portugal. Never again, dude. Wow. Listen, I tried to keep. I was like, oh, I'm Portuguese. This could work. Nah. They are the slowest team in this game.
People might not know this, Skills, but you've played FIFA esports in the past. Yeah. You're a competitor. I want to just delve into your mindset a little bit, because there'll be people in the chat who this will be their first ever opportunity, their first ever sort of taste of competitive FIFA, playing somewhat of an event, playing for money. A few tips for people. How do you get prepared for that? How do you deal with playing in that sort of pressure environment?
So I qualified in 17 and I went to the Miami event, and everything that I thought I knew when that game starts completely changes. Like, so the biggest thing when your first competition is just getting yourself to be like, I'm at home, like I'm just do what I do when I'm like by myself and nobody's watching. Because I went there and I was like, oh, I got to play a certain style, right? You got a lot of passing, and people are hitting long shots on me. And I was like, wait, this doesn't happen in competitive. What's happening right now? So everything that you know and you've done throughout, you know, competing or playing foot champs or playing head to head, just do that. Don't change too much. Just be you. But at the same time, you know, try to know as much about your opponent as possible, but just don't let the nerves get to you, dude. That was my biggest thing. I thought like, hey, let me change the way I play. Let me change formations. And that's just never do what you know.
That was impressive that you got to that event back in Miami all those years ago, and you've continued still that involvement in FIFA esports. Obviously, you partnered with Complexity, and you know, undoubtedly one of the best PlayStation players in the world, not just in North America, in Joxan. How's that journey been for you in Team Complexity? Is Joxan giving you a few tips here and there?
Yeah, no, that dude is incredible. So yeah, being with Complexity is just a family, dude. It's been a pleasure being with them. They have some of the best players out there, and for me, I think just being around people that are so good at FIFA just brings you up, you know what I mean? And little things, because the difference between being a great player and being a really, really, really great player is just a few little tips here and there, little things to clean up, like, a sprint button, you know, clean up your passing. But yeah, just being around them has been a blessing. That Joxan dude is incredible, by the way. That dude's on a level right now. It's crazy.
And final question from myself, Skills. We asked Gamer Brothers earlier in the European sort of PlayStation Open Series. You're loading into Ultimate Team. You've got your squad up. You're in Weekend League. There's one player on the opposite team who comes up, who strikes fear into you. Who is it currently in Ultimate Team? Because there was one player that Gamer Brothers said, and I want to see if it matches up with yours.
Dude, for me, it's, man, as crazy as it's Red Rashford.
That's exactly what he said.
If I see someone with a red Rashford, I'm like, oh man, this is tough. That Rashford he's like the guy. Every year we have somebody. There's Son, there's always someone every year. And this year it's just Rashford. Another guy that I'm kind of afraid of is Klosterman. He is such a good center back in this game compared to, you know, because I think the gap between Varane and Icons, and you know, you need someone else. I don't think there's many that can play beside him. So Klosterman's a good shout. But dude, if you see Rashford, man, you have like, you better hope the guy controlling him is not good. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
I mean, how mental was that, Rich? Because obviously that was exactly what Gamer Brother said. We were expecting everyone to say Mbappe, but no one really said Mbappe. I mean, last question from me as well, Skills, is formation this year. What is your go-to formation? When people play as France in the Open Series, North America and Europe, it seems like the 4-2-3-1 is the formation because of that Kante-Pogba duo. If you were playing in the Open Series tonight, what would be your formation and why?
So I think the 4-2-3-1 is the most balanced formation to just not suffer goals, to also, you know, be able to control games. But I found success in a 4-4-1-1-2. This formation gives you very, very similar to the 4-4-2 and to the 4-2-3-1, but it brings those CMs up. So if you have somebody who is a possession player, your CMs and your cam now can put a lot of pressure if they're playing the 4-2-3-1, and it keeps you just being able to kind of keep the game flowing for you. I think that's a big thing with competitive, right? I think competitive is so different than foot champs and other modes we play, because having the ball in competitive is everything. You want to be able to be the guy controlling the game and dictating the game and not letting your opponent to get into a groove. So the 4-4-1-1 allows you to hold the game and still put a lot of pressure at the same time. So I found success with that, man. A couple top 200s with that one. I'll take it. 4-4-1-1. Pretty good.
4-4-1-1 for the win, so it seems. AO9 Skills, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast today, my friend. Thank you for getting involved, of course, in the Open Series. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
You guys too. Keep killing it, man.
Cheers. Thank you.
And there we have it, 4-4-1-1, so he says. But it's funny how Gamer Brother and AO9 Skills both share the same fear in Red Rashford. I mean, I knew Rashford was class, but I just thought people would say Mbappe. Inform Ben Yedder, Mbappe. I thought you'd get those sort of simple answers from the guys, but Rashford, apparently he's the man to be fearful of.
Do you know what I think it is with Rashford? So I've said this a lot on my personal streams. I've said it a lot when I've been commentating. The difference between Mbappe and Rashford is very, very minimal. Rashford is the closest thing you're going to get to an icon level striker, to a Pele, or to an Mbappe, or to someone at the very, very top level without spending barely any coins. What is he, 200,000 coins, 180,000 coins? Rashford, if you want to get his inform or his road to the final, you're probably going to pay like 700 to $1 million. Like, he's very, very minimal when you look at the quality of player that you get. So I completely understand where everyone's coming from with their fear of Rashford, because I fear it as well.
I mean, 100% agree. I mean, unfortunately, we won't be seeing England or Manchester United being used in the Open Series, unfortunately. Let's speak about our next game, because we've only seen one quarterfinal so far tonight. So we'll talk about our next game. It's going to be Strayho Posto Vangi, if I'm getting anywhere near the correct pronunciation of that. I'm just going to go for Strayho, up against Arturo Cantu, our second quarterfinal of the evening here in North America. Looking forward to this one. We don't know the team selection as of yet. We're going to go out on a limb and say France against France. We'll wait to be proven until we're wrong, but please be different.
Yeah, you would think so. Also, as well, to anybody, you've watched the interview with Skills and you fancy yourself as a FIFA player, you're getting Elite 1, top 200 in Foot Champions. Make sure you go to the link that's just scrolling on the bottom of the screen right here, compete.playstation.com. Sign up. If you fancy yourself at FIFA, sign up, join the competition, and make sure that you are getting there. It's very simple to do. Go to the website.
It's free.
It's free to do as well. No one else, we've not got anything to do, have we? Do you know what I mean? This is the time to do it. Compete.playstation.com, sign up your ESL account and your Sony network account, your PlayStation network account, and you can be competing, literally as simple as that.
And I mean, speaking of how many people have signed up, Richard, that's why we've got so many new names, new emerging names popping up on the FIFA 21 Open Series. Our first month of doing it. We can't wait for it to continue into December and fingers crossed into 2021. So make sure you do sign up, because as you said, you know, there's tournaments every single week. 4 weekly invitationals take place, and then we build up to these monthly finals where you can have your matches commentated on by myself and Richard. So get yourselves involved. You know, what are you guys waiting for? And it doesn't even need to be FIFA. There's a handful of other games you guys can get yourselves involved in too. So as soon as it's ready, we're going to get into it. It is France against France. We could have predicted that one.
I mean, to be expected. I'm not surprised. Should we say that? I'm not surprised.
No, we're not.
But here we go.
Here we go then. We are underway. Strayho against Arturo in our second quarterfinal of the day here as part of the PS4 Tournaments Open Series in North America. Of course, use that hashtag PS4 Tournaments to get involved in the conversation tonight. Maybe a favourite for the tournament, a certain team you would love to see used on the stream. And who knows, Pro might be listening and they may go for it. We put a poll out in the chat as well, Rich, before we jumped into this game. Best option to beat France in head-to-head. The options were Bayern Munich, PSG or Liverpool. That poll is still live at the moment. The winning vote is Liverpool, as this chance does come in from Mbappe. Last opportunity early on to this game. What a save at the back post. It's nearly a chance. N'Golo Kante was there, but it looks like Liverpool followed. Oh, it's nearly going to change. It's Liverpool or PSG that's getting the vote for
I just cast
the
my
team.
vote.
Oh, have you just fixed the voting? Have you?
I just put my vote on the
Liverpool
poll.
on there. I'll throw Liverpool in there just to ruin your vote. All right.
Well, I voted for PSG, and hopefully people can. Hopefully, at some point, we will see PSG used, Brandon. That's all I ask for, because they deserve to get used. They are a viable option in head-to-head FIFA.
I mean, there was a reason why you bought those pictures behind you, didn't you, for the shows? Of the
Yeah,
Neymar and Mbappe, because
I've got Zlatan at the bottom as well. PSG legend.
there's a reason why you bought them, because you were trying to support the PSG movement. But as you said, it's been about 7 months now, and I hate to say, you're struggling for sign-ups at the moment.
I've probably got. I'm just trying to think. How many people do you think you've played as PSG? I would say I can count it on one hand.
I would say 4.
I think 5, maybe 5.
I mean, it's been a lot of FIFA, isn't it? Yeah.
We've seen. Yeah, I think it's definitely, obviously, without even. France is the number 1 option. I would probably say Liverpool definitely number 2. Barcelona number 3, and then PSG 4. I think more than likely that's sort of the. If you were to tally chart how many times these teams have been used, I think we're probably going that order. Liverpool and France. France number 1, Liverpool number 2. Certainly in that order. And then from there out, it's sort of you're picking real sort of hair strands out of a head of hair.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? There isn't a great pool of teams that many people are using. We'll talk about France against France. Speaking of how both these teams are lining up, as you said, I don't think we'll be seeing a 4-4-1-1 that, of course, Skills was alluding to. I mean, great to see that he's obviously mixed it up a little bit and doesn't want to just stick to the 4-2-3-1 meta, which, don't get me wrong, is a very balanced formation, and it does offer you everything you need when you are playing as France. But playing the way that we expect to be playing, Mbappe, Ben Yedder, that's the duo you want in that number 10 and your out-and-out striker role in the number 9. Here's Mbappe now, half a drag back, able to fake that one very well, but he's got 2 players on him in Varane and Kante. As well to get round Mendy as well. Goes all the way around, in fact. Kingsley Coman now, a lot of pressure behind him. Chance turns really well. Lovely Berber spin, and it's into the back of the net. 26 minutes on the clock, and it is Strayho.
It's a fantastic finish inside the box. Kingsley Coman with the Berber spin, creating the space all on his own. This France front four is like a shark at a shipwreck. If you give them any room inside the box, they are clinical, and they will find a way to score.
Time gets later, I'm enjoying these analogies even more, Richard. Here in the UK, we're just ticking over 11 p.m. I mean, do we get more as the night goes on?
that was quite a good one, to be honest, for Richard Buckley analogy scale.
They're always my favourite when they come out. Third of this game gone. There has been a goal, a breakthrough for Strayho. Now he has to defend against Arturo. Interesting that Skills said he used Portugal in the Open Series.
Back
I mean,
board.
I think.
Wow. Oh, Mbappe!
You'd expect that to be in the back of the net. I think what he did was he went in and saw Ronaldo and thought, oh, I like the look of this.
Bruno Fernandes as well. Renato Sanchez. And then the defence. Is Bruno Alves still playing?
I don't know. Jose Fonte's lacking a little bit of pace, unfortunately, as well.
Pepe.
Yeah. I think that's probably where he struggled, when he's had Mbappe and the likes of Coman and Martial running at him. But hey, I rate he's mixed up a little bit. I mean, I don't think anyone would predict Portugal as a team to be used if it happened on the broadcast.
We commentated an event probably, 3.5 years ago now, Brandon? In the summer, it was in Qatar for the FIFA Interactive World Cup qualifiers, and it was actually played on head-to-head national teams. And I'm just trying to think back, who were some of the most used teams? Portugal were used quite heavily, if I remember correctly.
Belgium as well. Belgium quite heavily. Italy was now and then popped up a couple of times in the tournament.
France weren't really used that much, if I remember.
It's just Ronaldo, isn't it? Wherever Ronaldo is, it sort of seems to be the way that a lot of people swing.
Which
Bit of pause cued by Toro. Just 4 minutes left. Sorry, Richard.
Which does surprise me, why we see so little Piemonte Calcio with Cristiano Ronaldo. If Cristiano Ronaldo was still at Real Madrid now, I guarantee Real Madrid will be one of the most used teams. Eden Hazard, Vinicius Jr. and Cristiano Ronaldo. Beautiful play from Ben Yedder inside the box, but it comes to nothing in the end. But with no injury time added on, that will take us into half-time. But yeah, I am surprised with how little we see of Juventus, otherwise known as Piemonte Calcio.
I'll ask you this question, Rich. If Mbappe wasn't in this French team and it was just Griezmann as your out-and-out striker, would you still use France? I think you'd go to PSG.
You would probably. I mean, look, I've got Neymar on the wall for a reason. I would probably go for PSG, but you'd still be able to play Griezmann, Cam, Ben Yedder striker, and then Martial and Coman wide. And also, if Mbappe wasn't French, let's just say, there would then be another player in there, if you know what I mean by that. So you would probably play Martial as your central striker, then Ousmane Dembele as one of your wide cams. Obviously, this is all hypothetical.
I'm just trying to sort of weigh up how much of a pull is Mbappe in that French team. Of course, we know he's the highest rated player in that team. He's the goal scorer. He's got the pace. He's got those individual traits which are really helpful. But I mean, if you ripped him out of the scenario, let's say, and it was just Griezmann he had as an option, and again maybe Lacazette was in the team, or Dembele then comes back into the subs or reserves, so you can then use him. If France would still just have such a pull to them. I know they're a very balanced team, and as you said, they've still got pacey options. They've still got good finishers around them. Ben Yedder, Griezmann, the pace on the wings. It was just a question I wanted to poise to you. And I mean, I'd love to poise it to a number of players in the Open Series as well, if it would swing their mindset
What
really
about
is the danger man?
if chance here, Antoine Griezmann? I'll pose my question to you. After his chance has gone wide, I think he's just offside. Is he offside? He was indeed. What if Mbappe was English? Do you think he's that much of a pull that if Mbappe was English and he was called, I don't know, Steve Mbappe, would he then be in the team instead of Kevin Mbappe, instead of Harry Kane, and he was the central striker? Is he that much of a pull? I think that's what we're trying to sort of get through, and it's quite a good question, to be honest. You could probably write a thesis on it.
I don't know, just ruined me there, Richard. I mean, are you trying to allude to this Rashford conversation again? Is that where we're going? I mean, look at.
I was not.
I mean,
no,
there is pros and cons. Look at Nick Pope, good goalkeeper in FIFA this year. I know we're going a little bit off sideways here. Of course, scoreline is currently 1-0. Not too much to talk about on the goal front. England, there is a few issues there. I mean, but there's issues with a lot of teams. You know, you look at France, it's the fullback area. With England, I mean, would you say the issue's the centre backs? I mean, you've got Kyle Walker, I guess, that goes centre back, right back. You've got options, midfield. Box to box midfielders.
The issue with England, I can tell you right now, there's no, in real life, central attacking midfielders, fantastic. Maddison, yes. Grealish, yes. But in FIFA, those players don't really tick the boxes that you need. So therefore, you sort of playing, because in an England lineup, you'd go 4-2-3-1, Sterling left, Sancho right, Rashford striker, but then who you playing cam? If you were to put, say, Mason Mount at cam, your two CDMs, you're probably going for Jordan Henderson +1, maybe Jack Grealish as sort of the box-to-box CDM. Your back four, Ben Chilwell, left back, centre-backs, Kyle Walker and Joe Gomez. Right back, Trent, goalkeeper Pope. It's a competitive team, but when you put that side by side on paper against the France team, I know which team everybody's going to choose. And it's not the one with Pope in goal.
It's the one with Kevin Mbappe in the team, isn't it? Chance. Griezmann. Oh, it's an equaliser. It's Griezmann again. The player that popped up 3 times in that first match-up tonight. And he pops up again, this time with an equaliser.
Griezmann saw goals in his eyes. You saw them bulging there at his eyes on the celebration.
I did see that for a second. I thought, is that normal?
Clearly very happy with the goal that he scored. Slotted past the goalkeeper at the near post.
So that was reminding me of the guy of Britain's Got Talent all those years ago.
Thought Brock Lesnar had just beat The Undertaker again, and that guy stood at the front row. Here we go. 24 minutes left in the game. Antoine Griezmann as a ram, right attacking midfielder. So it's a 4-2-2 against a 4-2-3-1 here.
24 minutes left in the game. If you aren't aware of the scenario here, if we are drawing, we will go into an extra time and penalty decider. 4-2-2. Griezmann obviously has just been brought on here. And he's Ben Yedder off the field. But I don't know about Digne in a right back. I feel for me, I'd be more comfortable putting Mendy out on the other side.
Yeah, because of the 5-star week, but it makes sense to throw Mendy at right back and then Digne at left back. Let's see how this game does unfold in the final stages. 20 minutes left to go.
It's probably been slightly more tense match this one. Looking across all the games we've been able to see across Europe and North America. Now running into our second game here. Slightly more narrow. Can he find Griezmann? Can he peel off? French striker Coman looking for a way through. Can he get past the goal here? A couple of ball rolls there. He's teasing that back line, waiting for a tackle to come in from Digne. Where's he coming? Look at that stamina bar. He hasn't got too much left in him. Griezmann, he's also fresh off the bench and just been brought on here for Strayho. He's dispossessed.
Certainly. Running on empty right now, some of these players on the pitch.
He takes his one serious chance, one good opportunity. Griezmann's in support. Mbappe's got space. It is Strayho. It's got to be a goal. It's at the goalie on the rebound. It's an easy finish. It's a fortunate deflection. But you're going to take those chances all day long. 15 minutes left on the clock. Could that be the match winner that guarantees you into the prize pot, Richard?
On the rebound, just smashed in to the empty net. He was killing Mbappe, wheeling away in celebration here. At the Parc de Bronze, I should say at the Parc de Bronze. Stadium myself and you, Brandon, have actually had the opportunity to go to earlier in the year. Great facilities.
Have we watched the game there together? We had a tour around.
We have not, no. I went on the tour. Filmed.
You enjoyed that.
You with a TikTok with a lovely security guard.
Because that was part of. That was this year, wasn't it?
Cup 4, yeah.
For the Champions Cup, one of the last sort of LAN events this year that took place in the Global Series. If you're a keen follower of FIFA esports, Anthony Martial, keeper's out, going to go for the sweat. Doesn't need to, goes to the near post. And that should be job done. It will be Strayho that will book a place into the semi-finals. And will get himself into that prize pot as well. Huge congratulations there. With just 10 minutes left, I don't see a comeback here, Rich.
Yeah, great finish from Strayho. He knew that he had the angles. When you get close enough to the goal like that, sometimes you know that you can just smash it near post. He got his angles right. And just hammered it high over Lloris. No chance for the goalkeeper from that close range. And it will be Strayho Postavanye moving through to the semi-finals.
Lovely long ball forward. Coman has got the legs over. Full back there into the box. It will go. Oh, it's perfect. I wasn't sure for a split second if it was an own goal, but Mbappe latched onto that one. That drilled cross finds the head of Kylian Mbappe. And it's such an effective way of scoring this year, crossing the ball. If you can get it in the right area, if you can drill it into a player in that box, whether it's a half volley, whether it's a header, you can guarantee yourself that you're going to score quite a few goals. And that's what's happened here. 4 goals to 1. It wasn't already. This game's certainly concluded now, and we'll be moving on into our next quarter-final straight after.
Certainly, you would say the first or second most effective way of scoring in FIFA 21. Down the wing, if your player's making a run at the back post and they are free, just a simple R1 square across the box or whatever button you decide to cross with while holding R1, you'll drive the ball, setting them up for either a volley or a diving header at the back post. And I would probably say 8 out of 10 times, your recipient of the cross will be firing past the goalkeeper and leaving the man between the sticks with absolutely no chance of saving it.
A little bit of a naughty tackle there from Anthony Martial. I'm sure it's a bit of frustration from Arturo Cantu because he knows that unfortunately he won't leave this competition with any prize money. It'll just be a top 8 finish, which in itself is still a big achievement. I know right now it won't feel like that. Something to take away that you've made a top 8, you've done well. And that'll do us. Added time of 2 minutes is up. Referee conclude the tie. Congratulations to Strayho. He will be into that semi-final now. And of course, we will be following that match as soon as it is ready to go. Before we do so, we have got one more quarter-final to conclude, Richard. But started off quite as a cagey game. We were, in case study conversations about Mbappe being English, and then the goals started to fly, and it sort of meant that we had to shut up and actually get back to what we're here for, and that is commentating on all the goals that were going in, which eventually found the back of the net.
Absolutely, yeah. The goals started to fly into one player's net. In fact, it was Arturo's. This was the opening goal of the game. Kingsley Coleman. You'll see the Berber spin coming out here perfectly past the goalkeeper into that bottom left corner. And then a couple more chances fell his way, but 60 minutes on the clock. There was an equaliser. Antoine Griezmann bursting through the gap, leaving Hernandez, and then slotting past the goalkeeper at the near post. And we thought maybe extra time might have been needed. But no. It was Strayho Postavanye sealing the game with that goal to put him 2-1 up. But it was 2 late goals to win him the tie. 4 goals to 1
Yeah, really nice goal, that one. Just whipped into the box from Kingsley Coman there into the path of Mbappe. And in the end, it finished 4-1. This is how the bracket currently looks. You're thinking, whoa, wait a minute. We've missed a game here. That game was played off-stream between Ronin, Adrian, TTV, and XBlue. And again, tell you what, there's even more of an upset. XBlue was one of the only players in the Final 8 bracket that we were aware of from sort of a previous monthly final in FIFA 20 and name in the North American scene. He goes out of the tournament in the Final A, and that'll be Ronin Adrian, TTV, in the semi-finals. Congratulations to you, my friend. Of course, we'll be looking at that game a little bit later on in the tournament tonight. That just leaves us with one quarter-final game left, Richard. Quavery Pro 7 against Ethan Taguchi. We've heard the teams. It's going to be France against France. I mean, we don't know what team Ronin Adrian's used, but I'm guessing it's probably France. So it's going to be a clean sweep for the French nation in North America, which surprised us. North America normally gives us a couple more fruitful choices in the teams they like to use.
I mean, it's been France dominance, in all honesty, until we see a different nation really come out and win a monthly finals. There's no reason to use anybody else, and as crazy as that might sound, France, if you're not using France, you're almost giving yourself a little bit of a disadvantage. And look, if you can play with another team, for example, off the top of my head, let's say Man City, and you play Man City and you win and win and win and win, and you get an unbelievable understanding of where the players are going to be and what sort of areas the players need to be in, and you've got custom tactics down to a T, then you might come in. But that's an individual case. On the wide spectrum of it, France are the best team. You can be very average and still compete with France. You can be the best player in the world and you're going to use France.
Do you think we should start a poll or a campaign to potentially remove France from the next monthly final or the Open Series and see who people use?
No.
How do you reckon I'd get on with that?
To be honest, I quite like France. I think you see it's not like it's a full team of 99 rated players. It's a beatable team. There are weaknesses in that France team, but going forward, they are just the best team. I thought that was going to be a penalty for a second there. To me, Quavery Pro from left to right in the blue strip of France, and right to left, it's going to be Ethan Taguchi.
And it looks as if Antoine Griezmann, again, will get a start. I mean, it's North America are giving Griezmann a nod in that starting 11, which many players have actually done in terms of over in Europe. I mean, he's played in pretty much all the games. As Antoine Griezmann, lovely ball into Mbappe. Is it going to be an opening goal towards the back post? It must be. It's an easy finish. And it will be Anthony Martial, one of the new additions to the FIFA 21 France squad. If you're unaware of what we're talking about here in FIFA 20, he wasn't part of the last update for the national team. Wasn't part of the reserves, wasn't part of the subs.
Is it again?
He has been introduced. Could be two in quick succession. It is. What a start from Quavery Pro. 11 minutes into it, he's been ready and raring to go in the Open Series. And I tell you what a start to the game.
He's hit him 2 goals inside the opening 11 minutes. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Simply, you cannot give the ball away from your own kickoff. He passed it into a corridor of uncertainty. Ethan and Quavery Pro just capitalising on that chance.
And I mean, if he gets 3, he gets 4. We've seen rage quits already happen over in Europe. That cannot happen over here in terms of conceding that many. He needs to get a goal back as soon as he can. Griezmann, half a drag back. Are we going to be seeing those goals flying to the back of net? Paul Pogba this time. I said he can get forward. I said he can get involved. But then this is where the gaps will appear for a counter-attack potentially. Does well to get himself out of that. Ethan Taguchi now. Griezmann, couple of step overs, still just burst forward, a nice heavy touch there. Little La Croqueta. Back to Paul Pogba. Even Ferland Mendy's that high up the field. He looks will get involved. I tell you what, the close control dribbling is on par with some of the best we've seen. Around the box, it comes to nothing in the end, but chances like that is going to make it very difficult to defend for Quavery Pro.
Chance here up the other end. Quavery Pro, beautifully weighted pass. He got the weighing scales out because that was inch perfect. Goalkeeper movement a little sketchy, I thought, for a second there. He was moving him forward and then backwards. But Ethan just did enough. Look how high that line is from Quavery Pro as well. He's very aggressive with his defenders. That was Rafael Varane all the way out of the back.
I mean, that could have been 3-0. What a piece of goalkeeper movement. When you move the goalkeeper, as we always talk about, you know, you're affecting that natural AI or the natural movement of the goalkeeper. As soon as you get in there and you alter it, it can really, you know, draw some risk if you move it in the wrong way too early or too slow. Of course, another poll in the chat right now. But Antoine Griezmann being your starting 11, the reason we ask you that is because for a lot of people in Europe, he wasn't involved. It was Ben Yedder and Mbappe as the cam and the striker in the 4-2-3-1. Kingsley Coman and Martial making up the lamb and the ram areas. If anything, Griezmann off the bench. Could it be 3 now? Another chance. Martial this time trying to bundle his way past the French defence. 30 minutes into the tie. Still holding on. That pressure is Quavery Pro. Lovely ball. Kingsley Coman. He'll turn around the back. What a chance. It's going to be 3-0. 30 minutes on the clock. And this is a bit more like what we want to see. Goals galore. A pause in from Ethan Taguchi. And I mean, what we're seeing here, I mean, hopefully not a rage quit. Hopefully a formation or a custom tactic change.
It's all from Antoine Griezmann being the catalyst in this team. He picked up the ball at central cam and just feathered it through to Kingsley Coman. I mean, I'm looking at the team there. It's a 4-1-2-1-2 wide with Mendy playing right mid, Hernandez playing left back, Kante at CDM. I think he might have had an issue there with his team selection. He'd not switched on to defensive and he was playing in a 4-1-2-1-2 by the looks of it.
It doesn't look like a nice formation, does it, in the nicest way? 3-0 down with 31 minutes on the clock. A huge mountain to climb. It looks like he's in that formation now. What can he do? He's got to pull this back. He cannot concede again. If he does, it'd be 4-0 down in the nicest way. When the game gets to that level, in terms of conceding goals, lovely ball down the line. Anthony Martial causing nightmares for the defence. Martial again. Just look at that back line of all those white shirts for France. But Ethan just being pulled apart. There's just no sort of consistency to it. And that's when you get slightly too aggressive like that. Yes, you've come and won the ball, but another day you pull a player out of position. You've got pacey lambs and rams around you. Martial's there. I mean, Kingsley Coman hasn't touched the ball for a while other than just scoring that goal. If you're on side in those sort of scenarios, you're going to get the edge on your play. You've got that bit more pace.
And Ethan's fighting an internal battle right now as well, because he's thinking, if I go more aggressive and really try and get the game back on side and score a couple of goals, I'm going to have to team press. I'm going to have to go more aggressive in my depth and in my offensive tactics. But what does that mean? It leaves you with gaps at the back.
A goal before half-time would be very much welcomed from Ethan. He made the tactical change that he believed was the right one. However, 3-0 down in 45 minutes, it will not be a half to remember. Looking at that poll, the poll's actually gone against Antoine Griezmann. It's a no to yes. In terms of 12 votes for no, only 5 for yes. So Griezmann doesn't get the nod for a lot of our viewers here.
I think when you look at the France team and the tools that they have at their disposal, Antoine Griezmann probably does go on the bench. Ben Yedder cam, Mbappe striker, Coleman Ram, and Anthony Martial Lam. That probably is the chosen formation. It's a 4-4-2 second variation here, with Mbappe and Griezmann as the two central strikers, Kante and Mendy as the two CDMs, with Pogba coming off at half-time.
Take a minute here just to watch this and take in the changes that he is making in terms of his instructions and custom tactics. It's what the best of the best will tend to do. And whether you don't plan to be 3-0 down, I don't think anyone plans to be 3-0 down, and trying to pull that one back in that scenario. I mean, for you, Richard, I mean, what are you looking at changing in terms of, I think depth's one of the biggest ones. Constant pressure could be an idea, but you've got the issue of your players being absolutely sort of tired by the time, if you want to get into an extra time scenario, they won't have much energy left.
No, absolutely. The changes that you've got to make are aggressive ones, are attacking ones. He could have actually played that straight across the box there. Mbappe turns his man, looks for that shot across the goalkeeper. Did he get a block on the way through? Just goes out for a goal kick there.
Ball that could be over the top. Slightly heavy for Griezmann. Ram recovers well. Striker dropped back. He's been flicked on. It's a tough one for Ethan, because if he concedes just one goal, I mean, even more so, the game would certainly be over, and unfortunately it would be him leaving the Open Series. He has another pause now, 53 minutes on the clock. Is it going to be another attacking change for him? We can assume so. That will be the case. After this one, we'll know our final four, and we'll know who will be in the prize money. We'll just be looking to see who will be in that grand final in the end. Well, one person will be picking up $400 tonight, alongside being the North American FIFA 21 champion. A new name in the history book. That is going to be confirmed, because ex-Blue unfortunately got knocked out in the round of, I should say, the final eight, the quarterfinals.
Yeah, just had a look at the poll there. It's coming to a close. It's over 60% of viewers saying that Griezmann would not be in the France starting 11.
Surprising that, but again, good rated player, decent in front of goal, but doesn't have that edge in terms of the pace that you really want from a player of his quality. The best thing that can happen here, as I was about to say, is that this pause doesn't happen. It has happened now. Here we go then. So he's in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow.
So yeah, he'd get in the England team. What Antoine Griezmann?
Think of this, right? I think anyone from this France team you keep mentioning would probably get in there.
He's the cam. Andy Griezmann.
Andy Griezmann.
Constant pressure being implemented there. 3-4-2-1. The formation of choice. Just looking who he's got on the bench. You've got Ben Yedder and you've got Olivier Giroud. Goal scorers. Decided not to go for Olivier Giroud.
I mean, Olivier Giroud, Richard, I mean, we're not an 85 overall mode here, where maybe he could have some sort of worth.
When you throw the kitchen sink, Olivier Giroud's the man you want there.
I mean, of course, I know we're sort of sitting in a different position to these pros, but how you don't start Ben Yedder in a game like this, I don't know. Ben Yedder's got to be a star in the team. Ball into the box, it hoofed in there. Comes to nothing. He's still just searching for anything more than a consolation. Lovely ball over the top. Kingsley Coman, he can drive forward. Can he try and score? Coman. Lovely little La Croqueta into Martial, and eventually his prayers have been answered with a goal in the form of Anthony Martial. 64 minutes on the clock. There is still time, but we've got to see more of that. We've got to see more chances being created.
There's an opportunity. I'll say that. There's an opportunity to get back into the game. However, it's going to need somewhat of a miracle. 3 goals to force a victory. 2 goals to force an extra time scenario here. Quavery Pro not wanting that to happen.
Can restore a 3-goal cushion. That certainly would be enough to see off this game. Griezmann, can he find Mbappe? Does find Mbappe. A little idea with the ball roll there. Back to Griezmann. It shall fall. Can't get past the defender that time. Can they break with pace? It's a lot of changes that have been made, but I like this from pros. You know, you've constantly got to adapt. You've constantly got to change. If it's not working for you with your formation or the tactics you're using, keep changing, keep working out. It's what the best players will do in the world. That goal was certainly given just a sprinkle of confidence. Here we go, another chance. Koeman. This could be another one, Rich. You can find the perfect pass. Lucas Digne backed around the bend. Yes! Oh, he's fresh off the bench and It's not even on target.
What a chance. Wissam Ben Yedder right there. The opportunity falling at the back post, unmarked, and he's dragged it wide of the target. You dream of those chances to get back into the game.
I mean, that's why he's been able to create the chance. Look how many players he's got forward. It's a 3 at the back formation. It really is. Him throwing the kitchen sink at him, doing everything he can to get as many people forward to try and create just 2 more chances. He's got time. But that, how was that not on target from Ben Yedder? He was unchallenged. He was in loads of space. He's got a 5-star weak fit if he needed to use it. Just one of those. It's just a real questionable finish from the striker.
Unchallenged, unmarked, at the back post. And puts it wide of the target. Mentally, you're defeated right now.
Coman. Again, the stamina bar not on his side. Did all right to dance around the fullback there. Clement Lenglet at the time, obviously 3 at the back formation, so more of a makeshift left centre-back. There's another throw, and this is more into the half now of Quavery Pro. Ethan Taguchi down by 2 goals at the moment. 3 goals to 1, he does trail. Mbappe can't find a way through the brick wall of Varane.
He's in.
Tried to elastico his way past.
You see the press. You want to play passes because you see space there. That's a nice defensive block out there. Almost just shielded it at the near post, and Lloris coming out, collecting the ball. One chance for Quavery Pro, and it's game over.
This could be the chance now. Watch that back post. Mbappe does really well. Teases the defence. Goes for the cutback. If anything, I don't mind. It's keep possession. Let that clock run down. You really are in no need to go and score another goal. Got a 2-goal cushion on your side. Wins a corner. This is perfect for Quavery Pro.
Thuram coming on. Talked about him earlier. He plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach. A Frenchman, off of the bench. Pacey, strong, physical, wide player.
Another one of those options you really need. Mbappe, has he timed his run well? I think he is just about onside. Get that ball to the back post now. It must go to the back post. This must be a goal.
What a save.
I mean, fantastic save from the East, but when those chances aren't going in, and that Ben Yedder chance, you just know it isn't your day. Ball bouncing around the box there. No one getting on that. His Lloris is up. Oh, no. Could he be caught out? Mendy and Kante going head-to-head. I think Kante actually comes out on top. Added time of just 2 minutes. I think that will be it for this one. No more time. Can he add one more goal to this tally? It's a cheeky chip. Kingsley Coman finishing the game in style for Quavery Pro. He had us guessing for about 25 minutes there. It was a period of that game where Ethan Taguchi had a couple of chances where another day they go in. We're looking at a complete different game. Here's Mbappe. He goes for a chip. Fortunately, just doesn't work for him, does it? And that will do us for the game. Quavery Pro 7 will book a place in the semi-finals. Huge congratulations to him.
Yeah, maybe we've not seen the 5+ goals that we saw in Europe in every match so far, but a 3-1, a 4-1, a 2-1 and a 4-1. It's been a very competent performance from all the players we have seen so far. That game genuinely could have gone either way because Ethan had a couple of chances. That one at the end there, I think he's got to hit that first time with Martial. You've got to have a bit of trust. When you've sweated it across the box and you've played the square pass, I feel like you've got to hit that first time. He took a touch, he let Lloris get off of his line and he closed down the angle very well. But look, Quavery Pro, Ronin Adin, Strayho, Postavanje and also David Macias are our 4 semi-finals. We'll get official confirmation from the bracket very shortly indeed. And here we go. You see that result going in. Quavery Pro against Strayho, Postavanje, both players who won 4-1 in their respective quarter-final tie. And David Macias against Ronin is going to be your second semi-final. A pretty new Final Four, Brandon, but we're learning more about the players every single game, and I don't really recall an odds-on favourite as we did in Europe in this North American Final Four.
I think looking at a lot of the results as well, I mean, there's been so many chances there, and in terms of the score lines, they've all been slightly different as well from what we have seen. So looking forward to seeing how this one will play out over the semi-final stages. But here's the highlights from that game that we did just see there against Quavery Pro. It's a fantastic start for him. 8 minutes into the game, there was an early goal off the post. It was a guaranteed goal by that point by Anthony Martial. But then he doubled his lead, Richard, and he scored another one after that as well.
Yeah, he did go to a different goal just after that with the chance here for N'Golo Kante. You see plenty of opportunities. Kingsley Coleman made it 3-0 right there. And I'm not going to lie, 30 minutes, 3-0, Brandon. I thought we might have seen a rage quit just then, but he stuck in it, got a goal back, did Ethan, but it was too little, too late, unfortunately. And Quavery Pro got the fourth shortly afterwards. It was that delicate chip over the goalkeeper. And again, I've talked about it time and time again, Kingsley Coleman is the one. He needs to be in this France team.
I mean, he's proved it as well, with a handful of goals and, more importantly, getting a handful of assists. Yeah, as soon as it went 3-0, when he went into that pause, I was a little bit worried that we were going to see a race quick. It was 3-0 in 30 minutes, and it's a best-of-1 game, so it is a bit of a tough one. However, I'm just looking at this next game. We're not going to start from the top of the bracket. We'll start from the bottom. It will be Ronin, Adrian, TTV up against David Macias. We've just seen as well, Liverpool are going to be used, Richard.
Head's gone. Head absolutely gone. It's going to be Ronin as Liverpool. Wow. Fair play.
We didn't see him. We obviously didn't see his last quarter-final, was his game against X-Blue, which he did narrowly win 2-1, and I just predicted that it was going to be France. However, Liverpool, and it's a game that Liverpool have actually won as well, because we only saw Liverpool once in Europe, and they got absolutely destroyed in the nicest way.
Yeah, but I think the tactical sort of work going into that game was incorrect. You were playing a 4-4-2 with Naby Keita in the team. I'll be very intrigued to see how Ronin, Adrian, TTV does go into this match with Liverpool, but that's going to be a fascinating first semi-final here, and see who books their place in the final.
Well, as we said now as well, everyone is guaranteed 12,000 FIFA points. Our final four are all guaranteed 12,000 FIFA points alongside at least $100. If you win your next game, you go into the grand final and you pretty much triple your money. You're guaranteed $300 even if you lose the grand final. But more importantly, if you win it, you're champion. You get all the bragging rights with it. You'll be in the history books of the FIFA 21 Open Series, the first ever FIFA 21 Open Series champion in North America. You'll be alongside Stingray. Of course, he was the man who won the European tournament on a penalty shootout. Imagine if we went to a penalty shootout for our grand final today, Richard, in North America. That would be ridiculous.
Would that be history-making? The first ever time both finals have gone to a penalty shootout? I think it probably would be. We've seen penalties in the past separate a final between two players, but I don't think we've ever seen it twice in the same day. This first semi-final very close to getting underway. If you look at the competition today and you fancy yourself and you think, you know what, I'm better than them, I could compete. The link here just below, compete.playstation.com. You want to go to that URL, you want to sign up, link your ESL account and also your PSN account. Very simple to do. You find the tournaments tab, the events tab on your PlayStation, and you can be competing. Simple as that. There's plenty of different tournaments on the website as well, multiple dates. If one particular day doesn't work for you, there's loads of opportunities for you to be in this position in December competing at the monthly finals.
Playing for some serious money as well. Let's not forget that. That's what the Open Series is all about. You can win, obviously, dynamic themes and items, obviously, on the PlayStation itself. Avatars that no one else can get other than people that just play in the Open Series. So if you fancy bragging it and showing off to your mates, get yourselves involved, because that's even if you compete in the tournament, you can earn those sort of prizes. And if you get to the top of the top, you become the cream of the crop, I should say. That's when you can get some serious money alongside FIFA points, which, especially with all these promos at the moment, they can come in very handy indeed. Here we go then, Richard. Semi-final number 1 is here. The first ever time we've got our eyes on the semi-finals in North America. David Macias up against Ronin Adrian TTV. He's Liverpool. Let's see how he sets up with this Liverpool team, because we saw a 4-4-2 earlier today. I wonder what we're seeing here.
Looks like Sadio Mane wide right with sort of Salah in field. Firmino, beautiful reverse elastico, and then the fake shot skill move as well. And Xherdan Shaqiri also introduced. With the introduction of Diego Jota, people somewhat forget about Xherdan Shaqiri, but he's still there on the books at Liverpool. In terms of this France team, it looks pretty standard. Lucas Hernandez in at fullback. Antoine Griezmann as the central cam, with Ben Yedder leading the line, and Mbappe out wide.
Speaking of Mbappe, he always seems to score the first goal in the game. He's going to try and do that now for... Maybe it doesn't come to anything in the end, but no. I think he just broke down the Liverpool team. Good to see Shaqiri starting. I mean, so we're not seeing the formation now, but I played a couple of games at the weekend against a 4-2-4, Richard, and the overload that the 4-2-4 offers you. I know it's probably not the most viable formation in terms of head-to-head FIFA, because you haven't really got... I mean, for France, you could probably make it work, because your two CDMs are very much box-to-box. Here's Mane. I'll tell you what, Liverpool's starting unbelievably well, just hustling for the ball there, Sadio Mane. But with a France team, if you can use your two box-to-box midfielders and you seriously wanted to attack at your opponent, yes, there's a huge risk to it. That 4-2-4, honestly, was causing me nightmares over the weekend.
Not only the centre midfielders are really the heart of the France operation, because if you're wanting to press, you press from your midfield. If you're wanting to keep possession, you keep possession through Kante, through Mbappe, through Ben Yedder, working in triangles. It really is that versatility in Pogba and Kante that opens up so many different avenues. Speaking of this Liverpool side, we were obviously talking about it a little bit earlier on today. Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk are two real powerhouses at the back, and Gini Wijnaldum now getting the introduction in midfield next to Fabinho, club captain Jordan Henderson on the substitutions bench. Sadio Mane looking to get played through, and it is Sadio Mane breaking the deadlock. What a player he is, not only in real life, but in FIFA as well. He offers you everything you need from either a wide attacking midfielder or even an out-and-out striker, as you're seeing him used in this fashion. 4-star weak foot, great pace, agility, balance, composure, and a finishing buff as well this year in FIFA. Liverpool, and not only Liverpool, but Ronin Adrian TTV standing up and being accounted for right now. And David, with this France side, sort of up against it. N'Golo Kante spread out wide to Kylian Mbappe. Not the most desirable of matchups for Kylian Mbappe against a tough Scotsman in Andy Robertson. It's these sort of games where you look at that Liverpool defence and say, where is the weakest player across the Liverpool defence? Defensively, you would probably say it's Trent Alexander-Arnold. So what I would be doing, I'd be pausing the game. I'd be putting Mbappe on Trent Alexander-Arnold. I feel as though he's got a much better success rate, Mbappe, against Trent than he would have against Andy Robertson. Fabinho, once again, low-driven pass, firing it in to Sadio Mane. Nice little skill move from Firmino, the elastico on the edge, but does come to nothing in the end. Real competitive, high-level game of FIFA that we're seeing unfold before our very eyes right now. Just talked about it. Andy Robertson, so strong at the back. Xherdan Shaqiri moving up down this left-hand side. Beautiful fake Rabona. Clearly got a good understanding of all the skill moves in his repertoire, does Ronin Adrian TV. It's Mane creating danger again inside the box. And a last-ditch sliding tackle from Ferland Mendy. The only thing separating Ronin and a 2-0 lead. Corner whipped into that near post, but that's always going to be Hugo Lloris's ball.
Way for David to really defend and be able to play the way that he usually wants to play with this French team for David Macias. As you said, if you can get past this game, you can really get yourself into some serious prize money. Guarantee yourself a top 2 finish. Here does come France now. They're one of those players that's been keen to get Griezmann involved from the word go. That means Mbappe gets pushed out wide because Ben Yedder is going to be involved in that cam area. Kante into Ben Yedder. He can go on his left, he can go on his right. Lovely fake shot. Ben Yedder in the front post. Finds the back of the net. And it's Mr. Reliable, really, as you'd call him. Ultimate team or head-to-head. It doesn't matter for the Frenchman of AS Monaco. In the box, he is so deadly.
And the main reason he's so deadly, a 5-star weak foot, left foot or right foot, he's going to be creating problems, is Wissam Ben Yedder. And that early lead that Sadio Mane did take here for Liverpool has been eradicated. Could have played him in, actually, then.
I have been impressive in the box is just how good Ronin has been. Oh, well done. Oh, Firmino. That's absolutely superb and to a different level. That's the quality you need in big matches like this that will separate you from a player, if not at your level or better. You've got to be unpredictable. You've got to time it right. He's done exactly that, Richard. Roberto Firmino on the stroke of half-time. Literally, the last kick of the game gives himself a small little lead heading into the second leg.
And that's why having a 5-star skiller in the final third is so impactful. We've seen it with Xherdan Shaqiri also using the fake Rabodans, using the elasticos and the reverse elasticos in the final third to create space. But not only that, it puts doubt in your opponent's mind. If you spend 45 minutes constantly doing cut down the line, elastico inside, cut down the line, reverse elastico inside, your opponent's going to get used to that. They're going to get familiar to that. So the one time that you don't cut back inside and you go straight down the byline and you attack the box, that is where you will get your goal from.
So far, so good for Liverpool. As we said, we've seen them once in Europe tonight and we've seen them once in North America. At the moment, the main difference has been the team that the player, I should say, in Ronin that's used Liverpool has been able to bag himself a win in the quarterfinals. So for him, he's proved he's got a winning formula with this Liverpool team. Unfortunately, that wasn't to be the same case over in Europe. It was a tough defeat to take, and unfortunately, Liverpool just weren't in the game at all. Just set up wrong, as you said, Richard, tactically wrong. However, this time round, they seem to be tactically right. You know, the great thing about Liverpool is you just build from the back. They've got such strong foundations. They've had so many great upgrades as well from the season that they had and the great season that they had with that Premier League success.
And we saw it in EU earlier today, a Liverpool side being used incorrectly. This is the correct way to use Liverpool in head-to-head FIFA. Get the pace out wide, get Sadio Mane as a central striker, use Firmino to the best of his ability with the 5-star skill moves, and defend somewhat deep. Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robertson and Gomez, one of the best back fours on the game. But if you in front of them using, no disrespect, Naby Keita, Jordan Henderson, non-meta players, you're going to get punished. Gini Wijnaldum has been outstanding in this game thus far.
And again, for me, he's the perfect example of a box-to-box midfielder. I think, don't get me wrong, Fabinho, 87 overall, great player, great CDM in the team. You know, if you had to really be picky, he's only got, I think, like 67 pace, which is good. Is good enough. I mean, of course, if you're in the 70s, you're having a bit more of leeway with those players. Hence why I look at the stats of Kante and Pogba, why they've just got that edge on so many defensive midfielders and box-to-box midfielders. Gini Wijnaldum, for me, probably a little bit more attacking, but box-to-box, he ticks that box really in the nicest way. And I think him and Fabinho, or him and Thiago, or Fabinho and Thiago, either or, they would complement each other really well in terms of what each other offer. And again, that for me is another huge selling point of any team in a head-to-head scenario. Your midfield, is it good? Is it box-to-box? Here we go. What a chance that is. And Antoine Griezmann with an absolute tap-in. And I tell you what, really well worked, because he opened the chance up. He made it a guaranteed goal. And what a game we're in for. 28 minutes left on the clock here, or just under that, I should say. 27 minutes on the clock. 2-2 the scoreline, and a perfect finish from Antoine Griezmann.
The pass leading up to the goal was what created the the goal. It was a real well-weighted, well-seen pass. And I think it might have actually been Fabinho who played it. Just a driven pass into, I should say, I think it was Pogba who played it, not Fabinho. I've got Fabinho on the mind, who played it directly into his feet. Simple pass across the box to Antoine Griezmann. We've seen great skill goals, we've seen great individual goals, but that was a team goal to be proud of.
And speaking of those CDMs, Richard, I mean, is Gini Wijnaldum and sort of Fabinho the two you go for? Does Thiago not get a look in?
I mean, look, Fabinho and Wijnaldum are probably the best duo. I think as a centre midfielder, not in a 2 DM formation or a 1 DM formation, Thiago gets the nod. But if you're playing CDMs, it's got to be Fabinho and Wijnaldum.
Yeah, they just offer you a little bit of contrast as well, and what both player offers you, and as you said, they can complement each other really well. Gini Wijnaldum now, chance for Liverpool, can't find a way through, as we said. Extra time could be called upon if we're all square in just 20 minutes' time. We've seen only one game go that far over in Europe, and it was a game right at the end. Went to extra time and penalties. I mean, could be different over here in North America. We'll get confirmation on what will be happening if the game is all square. Ben Yedder trying to do everything he can to get away from his man. Back to Paul Pogba. This is nice. Well played. Lovely little La Croqueta. Anthony Martial, can he turn away from his man? Still Anthony Martial in possession. Plays the one more ball back inside to Paul Pogba. Little reverse elastico. Still Paul Pogba. It's got to be a goal. It's a great save from Alisson.
Fantastic save from Alisson Becker there. The ball just seemed to constantly be bouncing back to Pogba. Langley with the header over the bar. But a real great opportunity there for Paul Pogba. Chance for Mane.
Back down the other end. Mane. Lots of space. What's the back post? What a ball that could be. Oh, it's a heavy touch instead of a finish.
Oh,
it's
still
being poked at. Oh, Salah there, I was going to say. I'm not too sure he didn't get on the end of it.
I guarantee he pressed shoot first time. But the opportunity he's doing, he's just taking a touch instead of shooting. If he gets the animation where he can shoot first time, that's a guaranteed goal. Liverpool continuing to be aggressive in winning this game. Firmino.
That's a Wijnaldum. Everything he could to try and break up. And now look, Fabinho's out of the game. Wijnaldum's out of the game. Now Virgil van Dijk's had to be pulled out of position. Seven minutes left. This will come down to who can create that one chance, who can have that piece of luck or that piece of trickery. What a ball that is! Antoine Griezmann on the end of it again. He seems to be the star of the show here in North America. And it's that same effective way of scoring. That cross drilled towards the back post on the half volley. Antoine Griezmann might have just done enough to send David Macias into the final itself.
Look, when we do these tips videos, Brandon, when we talk about volleys and headers and all this sort of stuff being good in the game, it's because it is. Like, the low-driven cross is probably arguably the most effective way of scoring in FIFA 21. And we've seen multiple examples of it. And the small margins of FIFA, once again, rearing their head. Salah, down the other end, had a chance to win the game. He took a touch instead of shooting. No mistake for France with 5 minutes left to play.
Back into a pause again. 2 pauses in quick succession. You should have a look at what he has changed. 4-2-3-1 he's in. Is that Chamberlain on? Minamino on.
And Jota, triple sub.
Just injecting some sort of pace into the final third now. Is there going to be more later on here in the Open Series, or are we going to find one name in that grand final? If we do, we'll move straight on to our next semi-final. Quavy Pro against Strayho. 6 minutes away from at least $300. It's a triple your money scenario here. Easier said than done, though. These minutes will go as slow as possible if you are on the side of France. and the side of David. All they need is one chance, Liverpool. One chance at goal. Salah, Mane, where's it ending up? He's just dived into the tackle. It goes out for a corner. The pressure is still on.
For a second, I thought that ball was just going to bounce. You see the goalkeeper moving it, pulling him all the way out to the 6-yard box, not allowing any room in that near post.
It's been dropped up off from the edge of the box. Minamino drops the shoulder. Doesn't really do much. This is in your hands now, David Macias. It's yours to throw away. Get that ball down the line. He hasn't been able to. Referee plays some sort of advantage, but
saved him.
Back for a free kick eventually. Take as much time as you want.
He really did. For David sent Lucas Hernandez on a run upfield, and his fullback was pretty much playing at central striker. The referee pulling it back for a free kick there has saved him the game, pretty much.
Referee, that's got to be job done. It's a long ball forward. 2 minutes have been played. Is the referee going to call it there, or is he going to play one more attack? Oh no,
Jota!
He is playing one more attack. Jota could be through. He is through. The referee played it on. I mean, normally the referees are known for putting up the play when you're through on goal and you've played the additional time period. But that's the man that has changed Liverpool's fortunes this year. Diego Jota does it in the Open Series as well.
Diego Jota. What a goal. Late drama once again. He had the ball. He had the win in his hands. He's played it. The referee played it on. And the composure shown right there. Diego Jota, not only has he done a double step over, but he's aimed it. Ball roll, near post, just tucked it past the goalkeeper. Look, he's done it for Liverpool. There's a few Liverpool fans in the chat right now. I see Tiago6 LFC Jazzy, big Liverpool fan. He has been praising Diego Jota all season long, and he's performing right now on the big pitch as well.
What do we say? You've got 6 minutes to hold on for a lead. Honestly, these 6 minutes feel like they take forever, in all honesty. And it just went on and on and on. And I thought the referee was going to call it there. It was a long ball. I think it was like added time of 2 minutes. It was 91:40 when the right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold, played the long ball forward, and it just crossed the halfway line. I think it just went over 92 minutes. The referee played it on, though. And wow, we're into extra time now. 30 more minutes needed to separate these two. As we said, a chance to triple your money tonight. $100 if you fall at this stage in the competition. If you go through, $300. Who is going to pull out all the stops for that piece of trickery on Magic? Could it be one of those Liverpool super subs that pops up again to do the deed and to ensure that Liverpool make it into the grand final? Are France going to continue their dominance here?
You saw that over the top through ball down the line there, going out of play, and it could come to capitalise. Mbappe inside the box. Beautiful from Kylian Mbappe. Coleman again at the heart of the goal, but it all came from that long through ball down the line, the in the air, over the top through ball. It swerved out of play, Brandon. We were literally talking about it earlier on in the stream. That over the top through ball is risky, because if you get caught out and your opponent has a throw-in high up the pitch, they can hit that throw-in so quick.
They really can. You've got to be quick. You've got to be able to react on the chance. But Mbappe there, proving what he can do. Just back to goal. Turned the man so well. He's able to find the back of the net. Roberto Firmino. This could be an equaliser. Oh, what a save, Lloris. What a save.
Hugo Lloris stepping up to the mark. What a save.
Well, that was a guaranteed goal there. It was Sadio Mane that was through, but Hugo Lloris proving why he is another reason why France are the team to use in the Open Series. What a save to deny Liverpool. 4 minutes left. Ball we go straight back down the other end again. Could we find a 2-goal cushion? If we do, I think that would be enough. David Macias, referee. Oh, I thought for a second there was going to be calls or shouts for a penalty there.
Seen him gave. We've certainly seen him gave for less as well. Less collisions inside the box.
Jota, the hero in the 90th minute to ensure this game went to extra time. He's needed now. He needs to be called upon. If Liverpool will have any chance. Added time of 1 minute in the first half of extra time here. Mane. Sadio Mane still dancing in the box. Goes for the cutback. Somehow defended well.
I'm not sure
Into
how
half-time and extra time.
Brandon Smith, that has not ended up in the back of the net. I thought it was a certain goal. He stepped
Poked
over
his
inside
leg
the
in,
box,
didn't
shrugged off his man, squared it, and the defenders like sort of flicked it up. It bounced off his chest, and then Firmino's not been able to head it in.
Serious interest in a finish there. He's got 15 minutes left. I can imagine he's in his custom tactics now, making all the changes that he needs to make. 4-3, France lead. And David Macias hold on to this one. Can Ronin reply? Again, he did it before. Can Liverpool do it for him? 12 minutes left. Firmino. For that sort of skill pass. Tried to spin on the ball, unfortunately. Didn't really give any aid to the passing option itself. Win this, you're in a grand final and you'll be sitting patiently.
Square.
Find out who will be joining. There's got to be a ball. Play across the goal. Surely. Oh, he just couldn't get around it. What a chance for Minamino.
You saw it. You saw the move literally forming before our very eyes. I do not know how that has not ended up in the back of the net. He's had 2 of those.
I mean, you honestly question it. If it was a different player in that scenario, is it a goal? Is it Minamino maybe with a lack of stats?
Sour.
Jota's onside. It's a Salah. I think he's more in the central cam now, Mohamed Salah. Look how quick Liverpool are though in the box. Chance again, penalty. Ooh, for a second I thought it was. Corner played short. 3 minutes now. Liverpool non-stop attack. They're just attacking with pace. Well defended that time.
Run it back. Last roll of the dice.
Last chance as well. Great tackle. That tackle as well could be worth $300 this time. Do not give possession away. David, hold on to this result. Added time to follow now of hopefully just a minute if you are a France fan. Does really well. Cuts back inside. Antoine Griezmann to go out in style, headed away, and that should do us. Referee, it will do us. And David Macias will book a place in the grand final. Will guarantee himself $300. Liverpool, they kept us guessing, Richard. They kept us guessing to the final moments there. Chance after chance. Another day, those crosses towards the back post will find a home in the back of the net. For some reason, they didn't in that game. Chances just went astray that shouldn't have gone astray.
I genuinely don't know how that chance at the back post from Minamino has not found its way into the back of the net. But what a semi-final. The most goals we've seen in any of the games here in North America. 7 goals in total, 4-3. Late drama, late goals. And it was, once again, France coming out on top in a big match scenario. So it's guaranteed to be an all-France final. But the question is, who's going to be joining David in that final?
Who's going to be joining him indeed? We'll have a look at some of those match highlights as soon as we have them. There were so many goals to talk about. I mean, we have to look at that Diego Jota chance again. I mean, how on earth did that happen? We'll have a look at it in just a second. You can see the run that this man has had tonight. David Macias books a place in the grand final after 2 big results tonight. A 3-1 victory against Kevin AC in the quarterfinals. And of course, against Ronin Adrian TTV, which we must say, good on him for using Liverpool. And a big fan of how he was using Liverpool, Richard, because he started Shaqiri, which for a lot of people doesn't normally tend to happen.
Yeah, look, I'm a big fan of Xherdan Shaqiri. I think he's got his own unique player build. He's strong. He's quite fast as well. He's got a great left foot, but he's not rapid in terms of the pace. He's very, very well-rounded, but he's not outstanding in any area, if that makes sense. The only sort of unique thing about him is the 5-star skills. So I think it was a little bit of a risk. And look, you saw the impact that Diego Jota had when he came off of the bench. In retrospect, do you start Diego Jota? We'll have to see if Ronin Adrian TTV can get back on the horse and maybe go one step further in December's monthly finals. But for right now, it's David Macias time.
Yeah, huge congratulations to David. He will have to wait about 20 minutes or so until he knows who he is up against. Of course, in that grand final, Quavery Pro against Strayho will be our next semi-final. As we said, it's the exact same scenario for those two. So winner will play against David. Loser will play against Ronin in the third place match. But if you have just joined us tonight, do stay tuned because we have still got 2 more games coming up tonight here in the North America November monthly final. Of course, if you guys want to get involved as well, you can do so. It's compete.playstation.com. It's free to join. It's free to enter. There's some serious money and prizes on the line. The link is down below us right now. Get yourselves involved, and fingers crossed we might see you in December because, Richard, there's more money on the line and there's a great opportunity for you at home to get involved. You don't even need to be, I mean, it's not even for pros, this competition. It's for players that just want to compete.
Absolutely, yeah. If you fancy yourself right now, if you're in one of the chats or in the YouTube comments and you think, you know what, I fancy a go at that, compete.playstation.com. Sign up, link your ESL account and your PlayStation Network account. Read the rules, make sure that you're eligible to compete, and you can be here next month competing for not only the prize money, not only 12,000 FIFA points if you make it into the top 4, but your name on the virtual PS4 Open Series monthly final trophy.
I mean, I just got a quick one to talk about as well, Richard, is we see a lot of things in pro games. What are you making of additional time this year? I know it's a weird subject, but that's the first time. I mean, again, that's not really a big example of it, but it seems like it doesn't really play on that much. I know we've seen it a couple of times, but for me personally, in my personal experience, it seems like, you know, I had +2s that went on for +6s before. It seems
You're
like
basically reeling over
a bit
your
more
extra time loss, aren't you, from last year still?
Something like that. It's a bit finer tuned though, I find, this year. Like, there's clearly been something that's been added.
If you know how extra time works, basically, as soon as, say it's 90 plus 2, if you get the ball at 90 minutes and you've got possession, if you hold on to that ball until 90 plus 2 and then kick it out of play for a throw-in, for a goal kick, as long as you don't concede a corner, the referee will blow full time. There's one thing that a lot of people don't realise. It's one thing that a lot of people just don't do. If you can hold the ball and manipulate the time so you are in possession when the ball and the time does eclipse, you kick the ball out for a throw-in, take a random shot if you're inside your opponent's half, just get the ball out of play. As long as it's not for a corner, the referee will blow full time and you can move on. But yeah, I know what you mean. It seems as though they're a lot more erratic, I think the word to describe referees this year, not only in their calls for half-time and for full-time, but also in a number of the refereeing decisions, penalties, free kicks being given. Just something we've got to deal with.
I think the red card scenario has been the most interesting. I mean, it's not even like the referee wants to let the game play on at times. It's just like, that's a red card, and that's not being given as a red card. I mean, it happens a couple of times, isn't it? When a man goes through, and then you get tackles that shouldn't be a red card, and they end up being a red card. But I would love to know how the refereeing system is like. Do you reckon they just get like a line of referees and like they look at certain decisions in the game? I'd love to know the ins and outs of that.
I don't know, but it seems like you're petitioning for a be a referee mode. So if you want to ref my games, Brandon, you're more than welcome to. Get the little the t-shirt, the shorts, socks. I want to see you warm up before the game, 50-star jumps.
I'm just interested to know if there's there must be some sort of conversation with some proper refs. I mean, I could be wrong, I could be right. Again, we are going to be jumping into that semi-final as soon as we can between Quavery Pro up against Strayho. You'll be surprised to know that both are going to be France in this game, and with that being said, I believe we are underway, and I tell you what, there has been a goal, Richard, and it has been an early goal. Quavery Pro has opened his scoreline early on into the game, just 5 minutes in. We'll give you a goal scorer as soon as we know it. My guess is it's Mbappe. But wow, what a start, Richard. We came in a couple of minutes late. Clearly, the goals have already started to fly in.
But they got nothing out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Quavery Pro started his quarterfinal with a 3-goal lead inside 30 minutes against Ethan, and he's starting the semi-final in a very similar fashion right now. 1-0 up inside the first 10 minutes. I'm looking in great stead for a final.
What's a chance from Griezmann there? Really well done from Mbappe, in all honesty, that created the chance. Ball into the box, punched away by Hugo Lloris. An electric start to this semi-final. Does get pulled back for an offside or a foul there, either or. Strayho just to take a breather and to realise the game that he is in. Look at the hustle there from Mbappe. Oof. Wins a corner. Serious press. As you said, we know that he went 3-0 up in 30 minutes in the last game. Ball towards the back post. Pogba is there and he's up for a goal kick in the end.
It's very important, and Quivery Pro's shown us a few great examples of this. In a one-legged game of FIFA, if you can get an early start, it is so important in the final result. If you're 3-0 up at half-time, 3-1 up at half-time, 9 times out of 10, you're going on to win that game. You're sort of forcing the hand of your opponent. You're making them play in a high press. You're making them play team press. Fantastic pass from Kingsley Coleman right there. He's in on goal. Can he work an opportunity to score? Just a little overcomplicated with the Lacroqueta.
There's going to be some sort of second win, though. Richard Griezmann picks up the loose pieces. Happy to give it to Paul Pogba.
It's with Kingsley Coman.
Just move the ball left to right as patiently as he likes. He's trying to find an option, but you can just see all the blue shirts that are back for France. He's trying to get the ball into Ben Yedder now, or Mbappe, which will be the difficulty. Does get the ball into Ben Yedder now. Lovely ball as far as Kingsley Coman. But that's the way that France will be deadly with that lamb and that ramp. Kingsley Coman and Anthony Martial. He gets round his man well, goes for the finesse. It's saved over the bar by Lloris. It's a great chance for Strayho, and he's knocking on the door of Quivery Pro. Towards the front post, it's punched away. I mean, corners this year as well, Richard. Any methodology behind yours? You just go for the front post flick on as sort of any FIFA player does, or do you go towards the back post and try and head it back over?
If my opponent doesn't move the goalkeeper, I'm looking for the front post, sort of between the front post and the centre of the goal. That's the area that I'm aiming for. If my opponent moves his goalkeeper, I'm just always playing short. Just try and work it into the box, look for a penalty, look for a free kick maybe. Just something to create a little bit more danger instead of just aimlessly crossing.
Mbappe. Oh, Mbappe does so well and deserved to finish as well. I don't know if that went through the legs of Hugo Lloris there. But as soon as he got the ball, it was an early scoop turn. I think there could have been a hill-to-hill in that. Does well to open up the space, and I said somehow finds the back of the net. It might have gone through the legs of Hugo Lloris, but who really cares? The ball's in the back of the net, and Quivery Pro doubles his lead in 30 in-game minutes here.
Scoop turn away from the last defender there just to create the space for Mbappe, and then smash past the goalkeeper. From that sort of range, you're never really backing your goalkeeper to save it. Mbappe up the other end, though, looking to get away from Rafa Varane. Lacroqueta, cut back for Kingsley Coleman, and again, from that sort of range, you're always going to be scoring.
Really well done from Mbappe, because he could have easily snapped at the shot, but he realised it was too heavy. Went for the Lacroqueta, as you said, found the cutback pass, and a great finish from Kingsley Coman there. Literally just rocketed that in the back of the net. Nothing fancy about that finish. Straight back down the other end will go. What an end-to-end first 35 minutes this has been in our second semi-final. Make sure you strap yourselves in, because we've got so much more still to come tonight, including that grand final here in North America. See possession not too far off each other. Handful of shots. 5 shots already registered in this game between the two of them. Ben Yedder, he wants to find a second. And an equaliser. Ben Yedder drops the shoulder. Still Ben Yedder with it. Loves that half drag back. Down the byline, fortunately. Not the best touch. That one goes out of play in the end.
I like the ingenuity of the move, though. Looking for the drag back and then the space down the line. It's a short goal kick as well. Looking to play out of the back here is Quivery Pro.
Watch the back post. Watch that back post now. That ball has got to get across. Can he time it well? Anthony Martial has time to take a touch and has time to finesse it into the bottom corner. That was really well done, because he could have easily tried to rush that chance. I think it was Mbappe that had the ball out on the right-hand side. He could have tried to cross that first time. It wouldn't have happened. And a fantastic finish in the end to ensure it's 3 goals to 1. Just 2 minutes left.
A really single-minded piece of defending to make sure nothing untoward happened.
Before we go into the half-time interval, sorry if the screen was slightly blocked there. Martial driving forward, wants another goal, wants a 3-goal cushion this time. Is he going to be onside there, Mbappe? He is, Martial. Gets the ball punched into his feet, and that was too heavy in the end. But half-time between these two, the game has opened up slightly. We've seen 4 goals in it. It's what we want to see. A 2-goal cushion is also there.
Yeah, sublime first half of FIFA again. Every single player, it seems, that we've watched so far looking to play attacking FIFA, and it's exactly what we want to see, in all honesty, Brandon. 4 goals in the opening period. Mbappe, Martial and Kingsley Coman, the goal scorers. Possession, 59%. It sort of shows that the game plan that Quevri Pro is looking to play, counter-attacking FIFA. He's had 41% possession, but he's scored 3 goals.
Not the better the chances, well, you can see that on your screen. 5 shots, 4 on target. Half-time change. Ben Yedder off at half-time. Wow, that is a big change. It's one that deserves.
And now the second half is underway.
A couple of plaudits there for the big bold move that he has made. Don't get me wrong, Griezmann a great player, but Ben Yedder, you'd think give him at least until the 55th or 60th minute.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? I mean, when you look at the chances and the sort of opportunities that Ben Yedder can create in the final third, but Jose Mourinho-esque move there, bringing off a player at half-time. Certainly a tactical change rather than a fitness-inspired change, you would say.
Let's not forget, Griezmann can score goals. He's proven that more than anything tonight.
Excellent use of the ball as they make their way forward.
Kante. Lovely ball into Martial. Looking to make it 4. 3-goal cushion would be huge in this sort of scenario. Mbappe drops the shoulder. Great save, Lloris, to keep the game alive. Out for a corner it goes.
Great save at the near post from Hugo Lloris. Just to tip it past his upright. You thought for a second that he was going to go across the goalkeeper with that strike.
Played into the centre of the box. And he clears the danger. Now Paul Pogba.
Pogba. Well intercepted N'Golo Kante. The man on a mission there. Did everything he could to stop that attack from developing. Surely going to be offside Mbappe there. No, he's not. Apparently he's going to be onside Mbappe. Oh, he went for the wrong post in my opinion.
I thought he was way offside. Watching that ball go through.
The shot should have went across goal, Rich. He went towards the near post.
Yeah, it looked like the clear and obvious chance was across the goalkeeper.
The hosts are struggling in terms of possession, but again, we've seen it before, we'll see it again. Their counter-attack
Really decided different there and wanted to.
Pace really hurts defences, and they've got that in abundance.
For that near post, where occasionally does open up for you if you can do it at the right time and you can time it well.
Losing possession here.
What's the ball that could be? Antoine to Martial, get yourself up. I think that was Mbappe on the floor. Just bundled over.
Over the touchline for a throw-in.
What happened there? Is that just a free throw-in, is it? Or
Defending not the best here.
I think someone shouted something in the crowd and it took him off his game.
if he concedes from it, Richard, I'm sure he won't be too happy. Chose the wrong pass there, in my opinion. Could have had it into Griezmann, who's fresh. Let's not forget that off the bench, he was subbed on.
There's been a few of those, though, hasn't there? I think that's why I love commentating the Open Series so much as well, because it's not pro FIFA players. It's not players that have competed at E-World Cup Grand Finals, that have won FUT Cups. There's mistakes on the pitch, and there is areas where people do make mistakes, and it's sort of the nerves you can see really do play a difference, and I love it so much. It's sort of like watching like the Championship, you would say, in terms of a football reference, where it's not perfect. Mistakes do get made, and it's all about who can sort of relish the opportunity the most.
Chance for Martial. Into Coman. One more goal would certainly solidify the result. I don't know why Lloris is going for a 2-foot tackle on the ball. He just cost his team a corner instead of picking it up. Not too sure on the animation there.
Short it is.
Mbappe.
Conte.
Back to N'Golo Kante. Switches out to Furlong Mendy now. He turns very well. Martial.
Well, no way through.
Can't do much more. Time is ticking away now. 20 minutes left.
Possession.
Hold on to this. You guarantee yourself $300 and a place in the grand final. Up against David Macias. Chance Coman to solidify the game. Mbappe gets a touch. It's a Superman punch from Lloris
Trying to get right into his face.
to deny the chance.
Well, you have to say, goalkeeping at its best, Derek. It really was perfect positioning.
Referee,
Really
ooh.
good save, wasn't it?
And intercepted it. Mbappe. Now Coman.
Maybe one final chance here to finally put the nail in the coffin.
Important facet of his play. Holding the ball up and waiting for support.
Digne.
The main thing is for
Now Paul Pogba.
Strayho, Richard, is that he's just allowed another 10 minutes to clock down on that timer.
He's fitting in quite well as Digne as a fullback. I've been quite impressed with the Evertonian.
He did well to cut it out. 10 minutes left.
It was a player that I guess wasn't really on our radar on FIFA 20 in terms of someone that would be added into the team.
Mbappe.
But he has been added.
Griezmann.
And so far, so good
Can
has
get
he
one
been.
back?
Chance now. Griezmann
Man was one step ahead of everybody.
does
following
enough. The
cross.
defender there. Not sure how that got deflected out. Goes out for a corner. 8 minutes left now.
Over comes the corner.
Is there a way back in the game? Lloris punches that one clear. Strayho
Coman.
needs to find a goal as soon as possible. If there's any chance to strike a comeback, to strike a way back into the tie.
Slipshod passing. Inside the final 5 minutes now.
Martial back to Griezmann.
He's in.
Interesting choice of pass.
Oh.
Lloris takes out about 2 players there.
And in the
I
end,
think,
no damage done.
just looking at the clock, I think you would say Quavery Pro just done enough to see out this clock enough
Griezmann.
and play the time management to perfection, in all honesty.
I mean, it's just not enough time now.
Moving the ball forward with purpose.
Will be Cravey Pro that will book a place in the grand final against David Macias. That will be our next game coming up tonight. The big one. The one we've all been waiting for all month long to see who will crown themselves as the North American FIFA 21 monthly champion. Congratulations, Quavery Pro. You will be in that grand final. $300 guaranteed. Commiserations to Strayho for falling in the final four. However, he will now go into a third place matchup to try and battle it out for $200. But it's not a bad first month, as we said, Richard. We've got so many new names that didn't just make it into the monthly finals. They made it into the final 8, and they should be so proud of what they've been able to achieve in their first time in the Open Series.
Absolutely, yeah. We see the official confirmation of the bracket. Quavery Pro beating Strayho Postavani 3-1. And it was David Macias beating Ronin Adrian TTV 4-3. That sets up our final that we will be looking at a little bit more detail when we do get back after the break. But before we go to a quick break, Brandon, let's have a quick look at some of the... we're not going to be looking actually at the highlights. We're going to be thinking Quavery Pro 3-1, but the win itself, Brandon, I wasn't fully convinced by it. I don't know what you think to that. I don't know if I'm being too harsh on him, but both semi-finals, I wasn't blown away.
I think the conversion rate of the chances for Quavery Pro was an interesting one because he created quite a lot of chances, and what we've sort of come to expect from him is that he likes to score a lot of early goals. He went, 2-0 up in about 20 minutes in that last game. Scored before we even got into the game, did Quavery Pro. So he's an early starter, and I mean, I hope we can see that in the grand final. But as you said, we are going to go for a quick break now. We're going to freshen up for this grand final. When we are back, we're here for the big one. $400 on the line in our North American FIFA 21 monthly Open Series final. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes' time.
PlayStation.
Hello everybody, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley here with a look at the strongest formations in FIFA 21. This is somewhat of a polarising topic because every single formation has its pros and its cons. It always comes down to personal preference at the end of the day. With that being said, what's our first formation, Richard?
It's the tried and trusted 4-2-3-1 formation, Brandon. This is what you tend to see a lot of FIFA pros use at the very high level. Mainly because of the two CDMs, they're like anchors in front of your back four. They patrol left to right, breaking up play, and they are the catalyst to this formation's success. Another big important thing in the 4-2-3-1 is your central attacking midfielder. Having 5-star skills or 5-star weak foot is imperative to the 4-2-3-1 success. If you're a new FIFA player trying competitive tournaments, play the 4-2-3-1, get your foot in the door, This will help you improve.
Next up, the 4-3-2-1 is once again one of the favourite formations in the FIFA community this year. Why is that, Richard?
The 4-3-2-1 allows you to counter-attack at breakneck pace so quickly. Your right and left forwards cause a lot of danger, running in behind, forcing players to always be looking over the shoulder, defenders running back to their own goals. It's not what they want to do. That can also cut inside, offer great shots into the opposite corner, and the back post cross is arguably one of the most OP things in FIFA 21.
Another popular formation this year is the 4-2-2-2. Care to explain why, Rich?
It speaks for itself. You literally have 4 attackers going forward. You have your 2 strikers and then your 2 central attacking midfielders. You have so much goal potential in this formation. The main real key in this formation is your CDMs have to be elite tier. We're talking Kante, Pogba, Goretzka. These sort of players have to be used in this formation. But if you want goals and you want quick attacks, the 4-2-2 is where you should be looking.
Lastly, Richard, let's look at the second variation of the 4-1-2-1-2.
This is what people like to call the diamond, and it's a diamond in the rough in FIFA 21. If you're a fan of tiki-taka, this is the formation for you. It allows quick and easy passing from your centre midfielders to your CDM to your central attacking midfielder. We're always working in triangles in the 4-1-2-1-2. You have 2 strikers, they're never isolated. They've always got one of them to bounce off of in the 4-1-2-1-2. Again, attacking FIFA will be coming your way in the diamond.
These 4 formations are very strong in FIFA 21, but that's not to say that another one won't suit your own play style better. Don't be afraid to try a few of our own suggestions until you find the one that you personally enjoy.
PlayStation.
Well, here we go then. Grand final time in North America for the FIFA 21 Open Series here with PlayStation. My name is Brandon Smith, and of course, next to me for the big one is Richard Buckley. Rich, we've made it here. Weeks after weeks of build up to this moment. Our final 2 out of thousands of people that have competed this month in November. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one breaks down, Rich. As you said, not the most convincing semi-final performances from both of our grand finals, but they're in the grand final now, Richard, and they're battling out for the chance to be a champion on FIFA 21, the first champion in FIFA 21.
Absolutely. Let's have a quick rundown of how both of these 2 players made it to the grand final. Quavere Pro beat Ethan Gucci 4-1 in the quarterfinals. He then beat Strayho Postavani 3-1 in the semi-finals. On the other side of the bracket, David Macias, 3-1 victory against Kevin ACO7. He then went on to beat Ronin Adrian TTV 4-3 in the semi-finals to set him up for the grand final.
Yeah, now we're here for the grand final now, Richard. Quavere Pro against David Asses, as you said, whoever can come out on top, $400. We're going to speak to you guys in the chat. Whether you're on YouTube, you can comment. Whether you're on Twitch, you can also comment. Or you can get yourselves involved in the poll right now. And I tell you what, at the moment, it is one-way traffic. Quavere Pro, apparently 12 votes to the 1 of David and Macias, which isn't too good for David. But I'm sure there's a couple of David fans in here as well. They're in the grand final for a reason. Look at both of their results respectively of how they got into the final.
I'm going to send you into a different dimension right now. This is me. This way. Sending you into a different dimension, Brandon.
Okay.
You're in the Twitch chat. You're not in the position you're in right now. Who are you voting for?
Just watch the bar below. See. I'll try and time it right. My vote is coming in. Now.
13-5 currently. 13-6. Brandon thinks that David Macias is going to be victorious.
Are you dropping a vote? You coming in? You getting involved?
So I don't know if you noticed, but when the poll first started, it was 12-1. 12-2. David Macias.
Oh wow, we're on the same train, are we?
We are indeed.
Let's hope Quavere Pro is not in the stream. There is no favouritism happening here. We do promise you. We're just throwing our hats out. Speak about the final then, Richard. Europe went for a 3-3 penalty shootout decider in the end. Where is this one going, Rich? Where is this grand final going? Is it going the full way? Is it done in 90 minutes here? How do you see it being played out?
Very hard to call because, as I said, in the semi-finals, I don't think both players really played to the top of their potential. I don't think either player really played their best game of FIFA. So it's very hard to call. I think it's going to be, can Quavery Pro get that early goal, which he did in the quarterfinal, and then in the semi-final he scored within the first 10 minutes in both of those two games, which sort of set him up for the rest of the match. It gave him the incentive and it gave him the sort of cushion, you would say, to sit off a little bit, to play on the counter-attack, have less possession, but know that you've got that all-important goal to fall back onto. So it's going to be very interesting.
We're underway now. This is it. This is our grand final. This is the match we've all been waiting for all month long. Let us know a score prediction as well in the Twitch chat or the YouTube comments. What is your score prediction? You don't need to say a winner, just your score for the game. Quavery Pro is notoriously known for early goals, especially with Kylian Mbappe. It's France against France. It's Quavery Pro 7 against David Macias. $400 for the winner, alongside being the first monthly final champion for FIFA 21. Huge stakes on the line here. A best of one game again. There's no best of twos in the grand final. So that's why your first goal's even more important, especially in this grand final here.
And also, as nerves start to build up, as well as the tension of the match continues to rise to a boiling point, who's going to be the one to break the deadlock? It's going to be Quavery Pro, as he has done in every single round thus far, with Kylian Mbappe at the near post, once again putting himself 1-0 up in the first 10 minutes.
As I'm telling you, Richard, it's just the way he likes to play. He likes scoring early goals, early 10-minute goals with Kylian Mbappe. Quavery Pro does it again, back on the score sheet. And that is a way to settle the nerves in a grand final. The best way to continue that is to go and double your lead. Into an early pause now. Here we go, just to get a bit of a comparison and how your opponent is lining up. A 4-2-3, and we'll have a little look at this. So Hernandez in at left back, Mendy on the right-hand side. Of course, that is for David Macias. And the way that he's liked to play, it's pretty much the same lineup that he's used all through the tournament. Of course, you won't change something that doesn't need fixing. That's his way of using France. That's the way that he likes to play with them. Now he needs to switch on and put himself back into the tie, Rich.
Yeah, you're not going to change a winning formula, really. You've won all the games in the knockout thus far. You probably went 9-0 in Swiss as well, or maybe 8-1 to get to this stage of the tournament. So if you've seen success with it, why change?
Here we go again. Watch the runs. Tried to tee that one up, did well with Anthony Martial, who's, remember, got that pace. Sort of straight swap of Ousmane Dembele, not in the French lineup anymore, in the reserves or even the subs. Anthony Martial that got the nod back in the team. And I mean, hopefully, what I'm looking forward to seeing, Richard, is that team being updated throughout the year. Hopefully, that will continue to happen when we have international fixtures and live updates as best we can. Because then we'll start seeing just more and more players sort of pop in who have played well for their club and country over the year and over the season.
Yeah, I think Theo Hernandez is a one that would be such a great addition to this France team. In at fullback, you can play Hernandez at one fullback and Ferland Mendy as the other fullback. Players like Upamecano at centre-back instead of Clement Lenglet, if you were to go down that route as well, that's a certain opportunity that you could take. Moussa Sissoko in at CDM. You want to play Kante at right back, you put Moussa Sissoko in at CDM. That's another option you could use. And finally, Ousmane Dembele's introduction back into this France team and getting a call up.
You've got so many French players, youngsters as well, that are slow developing and coming through. FIFA rating wise might not be the most generous at the moment, but I'm sure in time that will come. You know, look at a player like Mbappe who's rise through the ranks of the last number of years. Chance now, Mbappe, he's going to dance in the box. Mbappe, oh, it's so close to going into the back of the net, just wide of Hugo Lloris's goal there. And I just want to reflect on one thing. We spoke about David Macias at the beginning of today's stream, and his storyline was that he's a heavy hitter. He knocked out C. Lopez in the round of 32. He knocked out E. Ramirez in the round of 16. Chance now for David Macias. Chance back to Ben Yedder, and it's into the top bins. I said him about being a heavy hitter, knocking out big names, established names in the Open Series. There's a reason why he is in this grand final, and he's done so well this month. He's back into the tie. I think it could have been a penalty if the shot wasn't on target. But Ben Yedder strikes it into the top bins. All square here, 1-1, 31 minutes on the clock.
Not only does Ben Yedder strike the football, he also strikes fear in the heart of his opponents. When you see him inside the box, left foot or right foot, it really doesn't matter. He will hit the ball as clean as any other player on the pitch. And a real threat alongside Kylian Mbappe in the final third.
And that's the best thing you can do, Richard, in any knockout game, especially best of one FIFA. You can't let the scoreline get too uncomfortable. You can't let it be a 2-goal cushion. You can't let it be a 3-goal cushion. Mbappe back to Koeman, looking to restore that cushion as soon as he can, and that lead of just a goal. This is what we want to see in the final. A really tightly contested one. We hope we'll only go all the way to the wire. Griezmann. It was Felomeni just stuck in a pickle there. Wissam Ben Yedder, the goal scorer. We've got the all-important equaliser. Very interesting to see Griezmann involved in both of these two teams as well, Richard, for the final. Yes, we know he's great. Yes, he's a great finisher, but in Europe, I don't think he would have had a sniff in a starting lineup, in all honesty. It's just funny how things change over in North America. Chance now for Martial, but really interesting on that.
Yeah, Antoine Griezmann, certainly in Europe, more of a substitution player. Ben Yedder cam, Griezmann on the bench with then Mbappe and Martial, Koeman making up the other three cams. But Antoine Griezmann getting the nod, and look, fair play. He's played really well. He's created goals. He's scored goals. He's warranted his place in the team.
And there we go. Half-time in our grand final. Sorry to interrupt, Richard. We're all square at 1-1. It's the perfect way that this first 45 could have honestly gone. Nip and tuck between the two. Really not too much to talk about in terms of chances. Mbappe scored the early goal 10 minutes in, and Ben Yedder made the game all square after the 30-minute mark. I mean, literally even Stevens at this point.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. It's been a game back and forth. Nobody taking the game by the scruff of the neck. Nobody really showing any true incentive to win the game as of yet. I think first half, both players just thought, I don't want to lose. Quevri Pro got that early goal, and look, I guarantee David has seen what Quevri Pro has done in the previous rounds, where he has got one goal, quickly followed by a second and a third, and ran away with a match. That was number one incentive not to happen.
What will this second half bring us? Will it bring more drama? Will we need to go to extra time as well? We did it in Europe. We went even further than that. I mean, thinking back to that game in Europe, Rich, what was it? Was it 120th minute equaliser from Ben Yedder? Or was it a 90th minute equaliser? I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was a... It were 118 minute, I think.
It was a cross, wasn't it, to Ben Yedder?
Yeah,
who just
the back post.
Peeled away. The chance there for David Macias. For me, just chose the wrong pass in line, went out wide. I don't think that was the option he needed or wanted. Griezmann can't get past the man. Reversal has to go there from Paul Pogba. And Martial will have time. Bit of space. Pogba does well. Watch that back post. Mbappe is there, and he's found the back of the net too. David Macias with an unbelievable turnaround here.
A little bit of confidence is all it takes. The reverse elastico, it was something that we weren't seeing inside the first half. Paul Pogba getting on the ball, moving it out of his feet, then coming across the pitch, and that is a prime example, Brandon, why Kylian Mbappe is a very good wide cam. He pops up at the back post, and there's nobody else really that you would want in that area. He is the guy to finish those chances at the back post, and finish it he does.
He's the guy that doesn't need loads of time as well, Richard, in all honesty. He's got that composure, he's got the balance, he's just deadly in those areas. Give him a little sniff and if anything, will run a mile and score a number of goals as we've just seen him do all night long across Europe and North America. What a turnaround this has been. Now what can he do? Into the third part of this game, last 30 minutes. He needed his one chance. These two have been very good defensively, very clinical. Got to create one more chance, got to make something happen in the final third. Chance, Mbappe, are we going all square? Cheeky chip, it's the way to score this year. The audacity to pull out the chip in those sort of areas. Really well done.
So delicate. Such a beautiful shooting animation, the confidence to take that shot as well. You've not really created a lot of chance, and the one that you do get, you just dink it over the goalkeeper.
I mean, we know the chip is not just cheeky this year, it's very, very effective and a very good way of scoring if you can time it right and get in the right areas. Perfect example, perfect player as well to get over that. Kylian Mbappe restores the hope for Quavery Pro. All square. With 20 minutes or so left in this tie. Ben Yedder, scoop turn. He can be deadly. Lovely heel to Will. Ben Yedder outside the boot finish. That's a Pogba. Griezmann will try and move that ball as best as he can. And Ben Yedder find a way around this defence. Anthony Martial just trying to find a bouncing ball there. He's offside. He's too keen. 20 minutes left. If we need to, we will go to extra time. However, I just have a feeling there will be one more serious chance here. Look at that ball down the line if he wants to try and force it. Coleman's there. Went for the flick on. Well defended at the back.
Kingsley Coleman has been a player, Brandon. I said it in EU, and I'm going to say it again in North America. He has surprised me with the quality that he shows. We always just thought him, I don't want to say, somewhat of a, would you say a pace merchant? The main thing he's got is the pace in behind, that he creates these chances due to his pace. But this year in FIFA, he's so much more than that. The dribbling, alongside the shooting as well. He's a real threat in the final third.
I mean, I think last year as well, he was just one of those players that was really influential. And not everybody backed him, because you've had Ousmane Dembele last year, and of course Griezmann was also in this, as you said, this sort of attacking four going forward. It was all personal preference, and as you know, Ousmane Dembele was getting the nod. Really well done. La Croquette there, Griezmann. Well defended, good block there from Raphael Varane. But this year, yeah, definitely a player that has to be used on that right flank or left flank, however you choose to please. Whoever pleases you in terms of how you use the formation. What a ball! What a save, Lloris! We've seen them go into the back of the net before. That could have been the match winner. There still could be a chance left. Mbappe gets away from Lucas Digne. Into Ben Yedder. Half a drag back from him. Still Ben Yedder. He goes down to ground for shot. Still hustling for the ball. It's back to Lloris, who just gets it sort of pinged to his feet. He has to panic and get it cleared.
It was actually a very good kick from Hugo Lloris. Sometimes you see those land you in hot water, but he pinged it out to Kingsley Coleman, and a chance to score a winning goal here for Quavery Pro. Look at the back post. Is it on? Decides to come back inside and recycle for the one perfect chance. Oh, back heel.
There'll be one perfect chance. So will we need 30 more in-game minutes for an extra time decider here? We did it in Europe. We might have to do it in North America too. Mbappe charging down this right-hand side. Last chance of the game. What's a tackle?
Kick.
Referee says no, that's a free kick. Pause coming in for Quavery Pro. 2 minutes left, plus additional time. Interesting to see what changes he's going to make in these dying moments here. And Kente just taking a couple of minutes there just to get the booking that we didn't want to receive. What will change now? Let's have a look.
You see Mbappe wide cam there in this 4-2-3-1. There's a poll in the chat right now as we have a current break in play. What's Mbappe's best position in FIFA 21? Is it a solo striker, aka a 4-2-3-1, him being the central striker? Is it him as a duo striker in a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-2 when he's got someone to play off? Is it at central cam behind the striker? Or is it as a wide cam, a ram or a lamb? Let your vote be heard in the chat.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that to see how that poll does go. For you, Richard, what's the way to play? Solo striker? I mean, for me, I'm on the solo striker. I mean, if it's a 4-2-3-1, I mean, of course, solo striker's your way to do it. But overall, duo striker coming out on top at the moment. 13 votes for that one. Which way are you hedging your bets?
I actually voted for the duo striker in a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-2. Final chance of the game.
Chances here, Richard. This is literally the last chance of the game.
Nope, extra time.
It's going to be needed. We've done it before. We'll do it again in North America. Will we need penalties this time out, though? Nothing to separate the two. After 19 game minutes, this is your North American Grand Final. 2-2 the scoreline. Look at the score times between them as well. Handful of goals. Look at that, 51 to 49% possession. A really tight game. A really narrow one. It's going to come down to one good chance, or maybe two if you're lucky, in extra time here. Who will be our first FIFA 21 North American champion? The bracket link is in the chat if you want to have a look at the bracket to see how tonight's action has broken down and how we've got to this stage. I mean, duo striker could be an option because, you know, a couple of people saying in the chat, if you were playing as a PSG or in this head-to-head scenario, I mean, if you were to play that sort of formation, I mean, with two up top, it'd be pretty risky because you probably need another left winger. So you've got Di Maria out on the right with PSG on the left. I mean, I don't really know if you've got as a backup option other than Neymar.
Well, it's probably a 4-1-2-1-2 with Neymar and Mbappe as the two central strikers, and then as the central attacking midfielder, Di Maria, Idrissa Gana Gueye DM, and then Verratti and Herrera, two centre mids. But less about PSG, more about this final.
And more about who's going to come out on top. Quavery Pro now. Look at the numbers in the box that he's got. Coman, we've been highlighting how good he's been tonight. To Mbappe. Patient build-up. Patience is key, especially in these dire moments. Can he find that ball that he's looking for? That killer pass into one of the strikers. Griezmann. Ben Yedder. Nearly round the corner with that scoop turn. Ran straight into the path of Clement Lenglet. He said no thank you. Snatched the ball straight off his feet. Little turn, 5 minutes left, and we're pretty much in half time and extra time. It's always that first half that goes so quickly. So it feels.
The second half drags like mad, doesn't it, as you're slowly approaching penalties, dragging your feet.
Martial, La Croqueta. Tried to finesse it. Actually, just hit the feet of Lloris after a deflection.
It's actually a nice little bridge touch from Martial. That's a mistake. Oh, Kante saving
pass,
Varane.
wasn't it?
Literally, that could have been disastrous.
Added time of a minute. We're going to play one more chance. Anthony Martial's got the possession. David Macias has got a chance. Come to anything goes down to ground referees. That was done for half-time and extra time. We'll just revisit that poll quickly. Yeah, the duo striker came out massively on top, Richard. I think we had about just under 40 votes in the end. 28 of you voted for the duo striker for Mbappe this year. And I mean, if there was a Twitch poll, I mean, I'd say, do you use loan Mbappe? And I hope everybody says no, because Lone Mbappe causes nightmares on Weekend League, all right? And it's always, you can tell when it's Lone Mbappe. When someone subs on Mbappe in the second half, you know it's Lone Mbappe. You don't sub on Mbappe.
Couple of changes there being brought on. You saw Thuram and also Rabiot introduced. Mbappe still on the pitch for both players. Are we going to penalties again, or will we see a winning goal?
It's going to take one chance, a piece of magic or a mistake to decide our North American champion here. Who will come out on top? Who will be the first name in the Hall of Fame? Not a great touch there from Koeman. Gives possession away. Quavery Pro, of course, kicking in that blue strip from right to left in this second half of extra time. David Macias kicking from left to right. It will take one good chance. Will it go to the lottery of a penalty shootout to decide the tie, as Europe did, and it went to sudden death in Europe? The stamina bar of Mendy. He could be caught out, especially against a fresh substitution now, I believe it is.
Yeah, Thuram introduced onto the pitch.
He has got pace. He might not be the highest rated player, but he's got a lot of pace. Thuram could cause a couple of issues to Ferland Mendy.
See Rabiot in the centre midfield there. You forget how big he is, 6'4".
Koeman, can he find an ongoing runner? Watch out for Ben Yedder. He will be the last man. Rabiot does well. A little ball around the corner. Just forced that pass. We've literally got 3 minutes left now. Counter-attack for David Macias. Rabiot will drive forward. Thuram is full of energy. He's full of pace. Could this be the chance? Hill to hill. Still pressures the ball. Varane just about does enough. We're into the dire moments. As you said, this would be a bit of history in the Open Series. Both grand finals going to a penalty shootout. Is it possible? Or is it jumped on? Mbappe off the post. In the dying moment. That was the last chance of the game.
Surely not.
Unless there's even more drama. Kingsley Coman has not got any stamina. Surely not. This would be remarkable. Ben Yedder. Back to Griezmann, into Mbappe. Gets intercepted, gets recycled again. Back to Ben Yedder. He's dancing in the box and
he's
we've gone back for a free kick. We're going to penalties.
Oh, the heart rate just went through the roof. But the referee will take us into penalties.
Wow. Mbappe, what a chance at the end of the game there. Thuram linking in with Mbappe off the upright. He knows what a chance it was there for David Macias to try and snatch the game, but we're back to the dreaded penalties again. We did it in Europe. We're doing it again over in North America. This is history that has been written tonight. First monthly finals on FIFA 21, and here we go then. Quavery Pro up first with Ben Yedder. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to start this off? He's going to start it off with a miss.
Goes to the left. Rabiot, fresh off of the bench. Can he be successful? Smashes it in.
Advantage to David Macias. And Rabiot, the Quavery Pro. It's got to be a goal. It will be. Slotted into left bottom corner.
Yeah, good penalty. Kingsley Coman now up over the penalty. He goes straight down the middle. 2 for 2.
Got a lot of force on that one. Ensured it went into the back of the net. Hernandez now, of all people, up to stake this one. It's a perfect pen.
Thuram, the third substitution, coming off of the bench. He's not got the greatest of penalties. Goes to the right and it's saved.
Now we're all square, literally. Penalty number 4 now. Mbappe, you would say Mr. Reliable for Quavery Pro. Can he be reliable now? Yes, he can.
The pressure put back on David Macias. Looks to be going to the right. Slots it in. We're in a sudden death scenario.
We have to reiterate this. This is a grand final. This is $400 on the line. Macias, an earlier penalty taker. Antoine Griezmann that time puts it into the back of the net.
Mbappe must score. Goes to the left and does score. We continue.
Now we officially are in a sudden death scenario. Kingsley Coman for Quavery Pro. You need to score. Here we go again. Sudden death, Richard.
David Macias stepping up to the spot. with N'Golo Kante. He smashes it in. What a pen.
Sudden death, we go again. Kante for Quavery Pro. Same corner, same finish, Mbappe.
And we're getting down to the defenders. Hernandez steps up over the spot and he greened it down the middle.
We're going the full way here. Clement Lenglet now. Quavery Pro. Saved! Oh no! Oh God!
Score to win. Clement Lenglet stepping up over the spot, tucks it into the right. After a marathon of a penalty shootout, it's Clement Lenglet to win it. What a shootout.
And I mean, what a story. David Macias will be your North American monthly final champion. I said about this guy's story before we even saw him tonight, Richard, in his first quarterfinal against Kevin AC07. He knocked out C. Lopez. He knocked out Ramirez, two people that we've known very well in the North American Open Series from FIFA 20. Players that have got experience, players that have got a bit of confidence, a chip on their shoulder in these tournaments in terms of they know what they're doing. They know how to get to monthly finals. This man has come in and changed that picture. More importantly, he has become a champion, Richard. Talk to me about his run in the tournament.
What a tournament it was. A great tournament run. In the round of 16, he beat Ramirez 2-1. He then beat Kevin 3-1, Ronin TV 3-2, and then a 7-6 penalty shootout victory. He got over the line in the end. Great performance from David Macias, and he will be your North American monthly final champion.
And I mean, what did we say about that grand final, Richard? Could it go the full way? Would it go the full way to penalties? It did. I mean, it kept us guessing for so long. This was the goals that went in. That was Ben Yedder that made it all square for David Macias. As you said, he is your champion. He played in the white strip of France in that game. What a goal this was, 64 minutes on the clock. However, there was more late drama. That one nearly was the match winner. Last chance in extra time. It went to penalties, Richard. Clement Lenglet missed the first chance, and then this was the match winner. David Macias to snatch the win. He went to the exact same corner. Clement Lenglet became part of that match-winning team, that North American champion of David Macias. What a story, Richard. What a story. Look at that bracket today. That man has been on one hell of a run.
Absolutely. He beat Kevin AC07 3-1. He beat Ronin, Adrian TTV 4-3, and then a 7-6 penalty shootout. Well done to all of our players making it into the Final Four. They all walk away with at least $100 and also 12,000 FIFA points. To all the players who have competed in November, we thank you very much for making the Open Series one of the most entertaining FIFA tournaments on the planet.
More importantly, I mean, commiserations to Quavery Pro. It's always tough to lose on penalties, but the great thing about the Open Series is how they do the prize pot. You still leave the tournament with $300. It's only a $100 difference between the two. And you know what? We spoke about the competition rising up, Richard, on FIFA 21. Both penalties, I should say both tournaments, Europe and North America, went to a penalty shootout. That is how good the competition is. And if you want to get involved, you fancy challenging yourself, because there will be people out there go, I could do that, I could beat him, I could do that. Get yourselves involved. Compete.playstation.com. We want to see you involved. A handful of people want to see you involved in the PlayStation. And we want to see you next month in December, after Christmas, a couple of days after Christmas. We want to see you on this broadcast in North America or Europe. Make it happen. That's what we want to say.
Absolutely. The monthly finals, Tuesday, December 29th. Have a great holiday period and then come back and try and win the December monthly finals. Compete.playstation.com if you want to get involved. And what a couple of tournaments we have had to round off November, Brandon Smith.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Congratulations to Stingray in Europe earlier tonight. Of course, congratulations to David Macias. 2 new champions here in the PlayStation Open Series. I've been Brandon Smith. I've been joined by Richard Buckley all night long. We love it here on the Open Series, and we cannot wait to get back for December. So make sure you get involved. Compete.playstation.com for one last time. Weekly tournaments with the big monthly finals. We'll be back at the end of next month in December. We can't wait for it. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you all very soon. Good night.
ーション